Hello, good afternoon. My name's Richard. This is over and over and over again. It is Matchday Live. It is a little tiny game at the Emirates, Arsenal versus Aston Villa, and it's all coming up the other side. This. Well, it doesn't get much bigger than this, does it? With 7 games left of the Premier League, a win today for Arsenal will take us back to the top of the table. And of course, Liverpool, I don't know whether you saw earlier or heard that Liverpool have just lost 1-0 at home to Crystal Palace. So is it 3-horse race down to 2? We shall see. Of course, the next 90 minutes is going to tell us whether or not it maybe drops down to 1. We have to win this game quite simply, don't we? So let's see how the teams line up, shall we? So this is how the Arsenal team lines up then for today. In goal, David Raya, the back four, Ben White, William Saliba, Gabriel, and Alexander Zinchenko comes back in at left back. He did play quite well, didn't he, when he came on the other night? But we know how vulnerable he is defensively. In midfield, there's Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, and Kai Havertz drops into the sort of 8th position, I suppose, left 8 position. And in the front 3, Bukayo Saka. And these are the changes. Gabriel Jesus comes in and Leandro Trossard, both, of course, combined for that equaliser against Bayern Munich in midweek. They get to start this game. So on the bench, Aaron Ramsdale, Seko Kiwior, Takahiro Tomiyasu, Thomas Partey, Jorginho, Fabio Vieira, Emile Smith-Rowe, Gabriel Martinelli, and Eddie Nketiah. For Aston Villa, then in goal, someone we know very well, of course, Emiliano Martinez. Their back four is Ezri Konsa, Diego Costa, Pau Torres, and Luca Digne. In midfield, John McGinn, Yuri Tillemans, and Nicola Zaniolo. And their front 3 is Morgan Rogers, Moussa Diaby, and of course, Ollie Watkins, who's been linked with a move to Arsenal, hasn't he? So there your team lineups. And what we're making of that Arsenal team, I don't know. Kai Havertz has been shifted around, hasn't he, from the number 9 position where he's been playing well, and now they've put him back onto the midfield position where I'm not sure if that's always been his best position in the team. But anyway, let's see what happens today. It's going to be a very difficult game. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Nathan's what they doing. Nathan, good to see you. He says, hi, everyone in the chat, 2-0. And then Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool. Bit of a shock. They're having Liverpool doing a little bit of an Arsenal from last season, aren't they? Suddenly falling apart when the pressure's on. We haven't done that yet so far, but there's still games left to we've got to negotiate, and we've got some difficult games, and today's a difficult game. Aston Villa will be a difficult team to beat regardless, because they're a good side. You know, we lost away at home to them, and of course now even more so, they're chasing that top 4. Every single point for Aston Villa is important, so they're not just going to roll over and die for us. They've got, some teams are on the beach at this point in the season, but not Villa. They've got lots of fight for. Of course, there's no way Unai Emery is going to want Arsenal to win the league, is there? Let's be honest. And he's always shown a lot of respect to Arsenal, of course, and I'm sure he does, but he's not going to want us to win the league, is he? So he's going to try his best today. He's going to make sure his team are fired up for this. They've got some good players. Yes, they've got 1 or 2 injuries, but they are still a decent team, and they've got a lot to play for, haven't they? And Ollie Watkins, of course, 25 goals this season for Ollie Watkins. There's talk, isn't there, of Arsenal maybe being his next destination for next season. And we could certainly do with a player like that who's going to score 25 goals, couldn't we? But anyway, let's see how that works out. Had us with us, Chelsea out there at the cup. Oh, did they lose today to Man United? They were winning last time I saw, actually. Nathan says it'll be a tough game for sure, especially with the Spurs game yesterday. They will be bang up for this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Villa will have seen, obviously, Tottenham losing, and they know that a win today for them, or even a draw, would be a decent result for Villa here today, wouldn't it? I don't have any doubt about that. And it gives them a point over on Tottenham this weekend. So, yeah, obviously a lot of Arsenal fans were laughing about Spurs yesterday, but actually that result hasn't really done us too many favours today, has it? Because Villa are going to be even more fired up to get something from this game today, aren't they? So I don't care too much about Spurs. I don't care too much about anybody else. The only thing that matters to me is Arsenal and their results, and anything that's going to make it easier for us to win is great as far as I'm concerned. But of course, Villa now are going to be really, really fired up for this, aren't they? Because they know it's a big opportunity for them, isn't it? If they can win this game, well, that puts them in a really good position for the top 4 And that would be a great season for them, wouldn't it? Getting in the top four. They're still in. They're still in Europe, of course. The Conference League. They had a win in the first leg the other night. Yes, a narrow win at home, but they're certainly in a decent position to go through. So yeah, it could be a really good season for Unai Emery. And we always, whenever we play Aston Villa these days, and whenever Unai Emery's name's mentioned, we always, of course, go back and say, well, was he given the opportunity at Arsenal that maybe Mikel Arteta's been given? Obviously, the answer is no. He wasn't given the time, he wasn't given the resources, he wasn't given the players he wanted. And ultimately, as soon as things went wrong, he was out the door, whereas Arteta was allowed to have 2 poor seasons, really, wasn't he? Had we maybe been a bit more patient with Unai Emery, who knows? He's a great coach. There's no doubt about it. You can't knock his career, what he's done. So, but what's gone is gone. Unai Emery is now manager of Aston Villa, and he's doing a great job there. But our job today is to beat him and to get the 3 points. That's what we have to do, and it will give us that 1 point advantage over Man City. I've got to be honest, the Liverpool result today was a bit of a shock. They had a shocker in the week as well, didn't they? And last week as well. So my concern has always been Man City. Looking at the fixtures that's left, I expect Man City to win all their games. I honestly do. I don't think they'll drop any points, Man City. So the only way we're going to win the league is by winning all of ours as well. And look at some of our fixtures. Not all of them are easy, are they? Let's be honest. They're not all easy fixtures at all. So we're going to have to see what happens, aren't we? Let's just take one game at a time. Let's win today. And then we focus on Bayern Munich again in midweek, don't we? Which is, this game coming in between the 2 Bayern Munich ties isn't ideal, is it? Because there is a focus on that Champions League. Of course there is. We've got a difficult game to come. So let's see what happens. Anyway, the 2 goalkeepers, Martinez and David Raya, are in a little bit of a conversation there in the tunnel as the teams are waiting to come out. Of course, Martinez knows this stadium very well, doesn't he? And I'm sure he's going to be eager to keep us out today, isn't he? Emi Martinez. We know his faults on Arsenal and him leaving and all this kind of stuff. So he's going to be fired up, isn't he? Unai Emery's going to be fired up. Their captain, John McGinn, who's leading Aston Villa out, he's always fired up, isn't he? He's got that typical little short Scottish man kind of syndrome, hasn't he? So he's going to be fired up. And they've got some very good players. But there's no doubt Ollie Watkins is their big threat. Of course he is. And I'm sure he's going to have an impact in this game in some way or the other. But it's about how we play today, isn't it? That's what it's all about. And if we play anywhere near the level that we've shown for much of 2024, certainly in the Premier League, we should win this game. But extra pressure now, isn't it? Even more so, actually, with Liverpool losing, funnily enough. It's strange because I just felt a little bit as though if Liverpool had won, then there's slightly less pressure on us, really. Whereas now Liverpool have lost. If we win today, then that extra pressure on us is, puts 3 points between us and Liverpool. Such a big opportunity, adds to the pressure. So, I think that hasn't necessarily helped our cause today, but in the long term, it may well have done. But 3 points is still doable, isn't it? Looking at the games that we've got, we could easily lose a game that some of our away games we've got. We could easily lose a game, and then Liverpool are back in it again, aren't they? So let's see. Anyway, Nathan says then, what do you make of Tony's price tag being dropped around 40 million? Want a bidding war, or do Brentford know something is coming around the corner again? I mean, to be fair, I think what you got to understand is he's only played half a season, hasn't he? Well, not even half a season, because more games were played before January when he started playing again. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why maybe the price is dropping. Realistically, is someone going to pay big money for a striker who has just come back from a long ban, hasn't played much football this season? Maybe it reflects on that. I don't know. Yeah, is it a bidding war? Maybe you're right. Is something else coming out? No, I don't know. I'd be surprised if it was. If you can get it for 40 million, you've got to snap the hand off, quite honestly. But I'm sure someone will buy him for 40 million if it's not us. So we'll see. But I don't know. I mean, there's a striker today who's one of the top scorers in the country, Ollie Watkins. There's been talk of him coming to Arsenal. And I think he's more of a character that Mikel Arteta would look for, as opposed to Ivan Toney, who's a bit of a maverick, isn't he? And obviously, he's just come back from a ban. So I don't think he's going to be on Mikel Arteta's list, certainly in terms of character. But as a footballer, of course, absolutely. He's fantastic, isn't he? But we'll see what happens there. Yeah, interesting, that, isn't it? Terry says, good afternoon, Richard, Nathan, all in the chat. Come on, man, you're only 8 minutes to knock Salty out of the FA Cup. Is it? I thought that game had finished. We've not. I haven't been watching it, to be honest. But we shall see. Nathan says, Rich, what's your score prediction? Oh, you'll get a score prediction. I know Nathan's gone 2-0. I mean, it is going to be a tough game. There's no question for me. It's a difficult game, this. yes, we should win. I think it's going to be tough. I'm going to go 2-1, but I wouldn't be 100% surprised if it was a draw, if I'm honest. But I say that every week because I'm never really still convinced that this team can handle the pressure. Even though so far so good we have been handling the pressure, I'm still worried that, you know, each game now brings more pressure, more new pressure, and each game is a test, and it's an opportunity for this team to show they can deal with the pressure. And that's what I want to see today. So I'm going to go 2-1, but something in the back of my mind saying a potential draw, because Villa are a good side and they've got something to play for. And Ollie Watkins, as we've just seen on the caption there, he's got 18 goals. He's only 2 behind Erling Haaland. Wow. Incredible in that race for the Golden Boot. A nice warm embrace there between the two Spanish managers. And it's going to be, I'm sure they won't be quite so happy with each other at the end of the game today, but we shall see. Terry's gone 3-1. We're just about to get off and underway here. Aston Villa are going to be kicking off. They're in their away kit, sort of like a grey. Quite a nice kit, actually. It looks a bit more like a training kit than an actual kit anyway. They will be kicking off, attacking at the goal to our right in this first half, which is, of course, the clock end. So we've changed ends. Arsenal attacking the North Bank in the first half today, which is unusual, isn't it? So I'm not quite sure what's happened there. We don't really like doing it that way. Oh, actually, no, we haven't. It was just the wrong camera angle. They put the camera at the other end of the pitch. In fact, Arsenal are attacking the clock end away to our right. And Aston Villa are off and underway in the grey kit. With the camera at the other end of the pitch, it just confused me. But anyway, Arsenal are attacking the clock end in the first half. And Declan Rice just plays the ball back to David Raya. Arsenal, of course, in red and white. What would you expect? Don't forget, of course, later on after this game, we are at the Arsenal women's game against Bristol City. That kicks off at 7:15. There's a different stream set up for that, so please move over there after this game. We'll obviously talk about that a bit later. Also, I've got to quickly nip off because I'm doing Talk TV as well, talking about this game at 7 o'clock. So lots going on for me today. Very busy, but it's all good stuff, isn't it? Anyway, Villa have got a throw on his near side, which Luca Digne is going to take. He's got a long throw, by the way. Everybody's kind of lining up on the edge of the 6-yard box. Ollie Watkins, of course, is in there, as you would expect him to be. This throw comes in. It is a long throw towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's headed on. Oh, it was an Arsenal player away. And the shot comes in from distance. It hits an Arsenal player on the head. The second header comes in. It's onto the roof of the net. Wow. It was Ollie Watkins, actually, with the second effort. And it was Trossard who got in the way of that original shot. He's now gone down inside the penalty. I'm not sure whether the game would have stopped. I had the game stopped for that head injury. I'm not sure. Arsenal struggled to get that ball away. And all that shot, the first shot came in there, hit Trossard. Actually, no, I think it would have counted had it gone in, because the referee hadn't stopped the game. And Trossard didn't actually go down until the header had come in from Ollie Watkins, but it landed on the top of the crossbar anyway, top of the net anyway. And we got away with that one a little bit. Not the most convincing defending from Arsenal in that particular situation. And you have to say, not so convincing our defending the other night, was it, against Bayern Munich either? So we need to shake out of this quite quickly. You know, and it's funny how things can change so quickly in football, can't it? You know, Liverpool are in such a good position. You think that half time against Man United last week, they were 1-0 up. No one would have thought that this time, this week, they'd be in the situation that they are. Things change so quickly in football. Momentum's such a big thing, isn't it? And of course, that defeat in midweek, or throwing away that lead at Man U, first of all, to get a draw, and then the midweek defeat, obviously had an impact today. It has done. And, you know, our performance in midweek wasn't great. Is that going to have an impact on the way we play today? Who knows? Anyway, let's see what happens. Martin Odegaard in possession on this near side for Arsenal. Our first real attack this will be, although we've been forced back to William Saliba. Martin Odegaard takes the ball on the turn, threads it through. It's touched on by Jesus. Saka inside the box, tries to get it back to Jesus. Comes instead to Ben White. He tried to, I don't know what he was trying to do there, chip it forward or try and win a corner. Either way, it's gone into the clock end behind the goal. 2.5 minutes played. It's still Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0. And that was Arsenal's first real meaningful attack. First time we got the ball into the Villa penalty area, and it was Bukayo Saka who was heavily involved, of course, as usual. 18 goals for Saka this season, all competitions. Incredible, really. And he is, of course, top goal scorer. And that's maybe the little area that I still think we're lacking. When you've got a wide player as opposed to a centre forward who's your top scorer, I do think there's an issue there that we need to address going forward, I think. Because we can't rely on Saka and the wide players in general to get most of our goals. We need to have that forward outlet as well. Anyway, Villa in possession now. Terry says, Salty FC are out. Bye, Salty. Well, there you go. See, We said, didn't we, after the Conti Cup final, where we'd ended their season, and maybe we will. Who knows? Of course, should the women win later on, we'll only be 3 points behind Chelsea, won't we, in the league as well? So maybe we can pip them for that as well. But anyway, it's a throw to Aston Villa. We're worried about the women's game a little bit later because there's a lot of stress and tension to be had here at the Emirates this afternoon, I'm sure. And Villa have just played the ball straight out for a throw to Arsenal. It was Esri Konsa who couldn't keep that ball in. And 4 minutes on the clock, and Arsenal got a throw midway inside the Villa half. It's going to be Zinchenko to take it. Looking for a bit of movement, finds Declan Rice, but he's robbed of the ball actually. And Villa now is where they're dangerous on the counter attack. They've got a lot of pace, haven't they? Especially in wide areas, and they're coming forward over on that far side. But David Raya is out of his penalty area. Oh, that's a lovely bit of control by the Arsenal goalkeeper there. Did really, really well, and ended that Aston Villa attack. I think it was Diaby who was closing in on the Arsenal penalty area, and Bukayo Saka has just won his first free kick of the day, and that was a foul by Luca Digne. And I'm sure those two are going to be in quite a lot of battling this afternoon, aren't they? It could be a key battle as well in this game. But Saka has won that free kick. Nearly 5 minutes played. Not an awful lot's happened actually so far. A bit like the other night, Arsenal just maybe struggling to just get into our rhythm, but we've got possession now. Zinchenko inside the centre circle finds Martin Ødegaard, brings it forward for Arsenal, plays it to Ben White on his near side. He looks for Saka, he finds Saka. Saka's going to have a run at Luca Digne, who's done well, but Saka finds Martin Ødegaard. He's going to get it back. Saka inside the penalty. Can he pull it back? He does pull it back, but it was well defended at the near post by Aston Villa. And now they've played it well actually up this near side, and suddenly from an Arsenal attack, Aston Villa are coming forward themselves. And this is really strong play. Although the referee didn't like that foul there on Gabriel Jesus, and it is going to be a free kick to Arsenal. But that was good defending there. I think it was Pau Torres, who cut out Saka's cross and managed to get the ball clear. But that was a good move from Arsenal down this near side, the right. Ødegaard and Saka again combining really well. Now Trossard trying to play the ball forward to Kai Havertz, but it's run behind. It's going to be a goal kick. It was McGinn with the tackle there. John McGinn, the Aston Villa captain. Nick Nack says, hi Rich, all in the chat. Yourself, mate, how are you doing? Good to see Phil is with us as well. How you doing? Phil, good to see you, mate. He says, hi all, come on Arsenal. Indeed, come on Arsenal. Big opportunity this for Arsenal, isn't it? A win for Arsenal today, and you have to say maybe it is a title race just down to 2 after Liverpool's defeat today. Well, it's looking, it could well be that way. Although, to be fair, Liverpool are only 2 points behind Manchester City, but on the same number of games. So it's not like they're a million miles away. Anyway, let's see what happens in this game first before we start worrying about the title race or what may or may not to be happening. A referee's just given a free kick to Aston Villa. It was Rodgers who was fouled. The referee, by the way, is David Coote. So there you go. Nathan says Saka has started well. He always starts well, there, doesn't he? He's in and out of the game a little bit sometimes, isn't he? But he generally kind of starts lively, and then he gets booted a few times. It keeps him quiet for a bit, and then he'll probably score a goal. Anyway, Villa have just given the ball away. Martin Ødegaard. It's a 3-on-3. Saka on this near side again inside the Aston Villa penalty area. Can he get the ball back across? He does. Fires it across the box, but it was maybe too hard there, and no one could get on the end of it. Kai Havertz tried, but Saka's ball in there was really, really lively there. It was a mistake by Luca Digne, I think it was, and Saka was in on this near side. The ball for Martin Ødegaard actually put him a little bit wider than he maybe wanted to be, but he did manage to fire that crossing with his right foot. And that's the one thing that Martinelli won't do, will he? He won't cross with his weaker foot, if you like, whereas at least Saka will go around the outside and pop a cross, and he did there. It was a decent ball. As Nick Nack said, put it into the right area. He did, yeah. It wasn't to the right area. It just wasn't forwards near the gamble. Yeah, that's just when you don't have a natural goal scorer in your team. A natural goal scorer does gamble on them. Ian Wright type players. You know what I mean? They're the ones who get themselves in those positions, don't they? They're attacking those balls. And Arsenal now coming forward over on that far side. Gabriel Jesus can't quite get there. It's a good tackle on him, actually, by Diego Costa. Had a really good game, didn't he, when we played him at Villa Park? I mean, it was a long ball by Aston Villa. They're coming forward now. Ollie Watkins heads it down to this near side, looking for the pace there and the run of Zaniolo, the Italian. But William Saliba was across. And that was good defensive play there. But Aston Villa looking to get the ball forward whenever they can. And it's going to be another long throw from Luca Digne. He's already put one dangerous ball in, hasn't he? He's quite breezy at the Emirates today. So I guess if the wind catches it right, this could be dangerous. We've struggled from long throws in the past, haven't we? If one comes in against the edge of the 6-yard box, a couple of players go down, and the ball did fall there to Morgan Rogers inside the penalty area, but the free kick had already been given to Arsenal. In fact, it was Diego Carlos, who was the player, the Aston Villa player there inside the penalty area. Anyway, he's going to be a free kick to Arsenal instead. Nick Nack says bundle. Yeah, it was a bit of a bundle in that box, wasn't it? A load of players went piling in, and the referee decided to give a free kick to Arsenal, which was good because otherwise Villa may well have had a good opportunity to get a strike on at goal there. But anyway, they're not able to. And Arsenal, they're trying to play it out from the back. William Saliba on this near side. We played 9 minutes at the Emirates. Arsenal 0, Villa 0. In what is already looking like it's going to be a very tense game and a very nervy game. And a bit like the other night, that was very tense and nervy, wasn't it? I think we're going to have a few of them now, aren't we? Well, probably every single game now between now and the end of the season is going to be tense and nervy, isn't it? I expect. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward again over on that far side. Leandro Trossard does well, keeps possession. And now it's with Declan Rice, just looking for a little bit of movement in front of him. Holds the play up and then plays out to that far side again to Trossard, just touches it back to Zinchenko. Now it's to William Saliba inside the centre circle. 10 minutes on the clock. Arsenal 0, Villa 0. And not really any opportunities at either end yet. It's been a very tense start, hasn't it? You can see there's tension in the air for Arsenal. Absolutely. Of course there is. There's going to be tension every single game. We're not going to get an easy game now, are we? Every single game is going to be like this. But what we have to try and do is find a way to deal with this pressure and just allow our football to do the talking. See what we've learned from last season, because that's key, isn't it? You know, last season we couldn't handle the pressure at this point in the season, and this season we've shown a slightly different side to us. But anyway, let's have a look here. The ball's played through into the box. Kai Havertz is there. Good save there from Emi Martinez at his near post. It was a good move from Arsenal. Kai Havertz found himself inside the penalty area, and it wasn't necessarily the most convincing finish, it has to be said. But anyway, it was a decent save, and now Villa have got a goal kick. And there we go. Rails says there, I'm liking Saka drifting during throw-ins, take a good chance create. Yeah, he's done well. And that was a good move there from Arsenal, wasn't it? Was it who played that ball through? It was Trossard, actually. Trossard with the ball. Lovely pass. Great run from Havertz. He hit it first time. Did he need to hit that first time? I'm not sure. But anyway, it was a good save. Nick Nack says there, yeah, good save, but one you'd expect him to be making. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the greatest finish, was it? That's the problem. He took it first time. Did he need to take it first time? I don't know. He could have maybe just took a touch and steadied himself. But anyway, it was a big chance for Arsenal to get that early lead. Would have settled everybody down, wouldn't it? Terry says, what a ball from LT. It was a great ball from Trossard. There's another great ball here, looking to get Kai Havertz in again, but he couldn't quite get there that time. It was Carlos that got the block in. And this ball's going to go out for a throw to Arsenal right in front of Mikel Arteta. Actually throws it back to Ben White. Russ is with us. How you doing, Russ? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let's see how this game plays out, shall we? It's been a very, very nervy start. But I say, did we really expect too much else? I don't think I did. I kind of expected it to be a bit like this. But anyway, let's see what happens there. Arsenal now looking to come forward. A bit of head tennis going on. And in the end, Villa win that particular battle. And now they can try and bring the ball forward up this near side. Did it go out of play? The linesman referee says no. Villa still in possession. But Saka steps in, wins that ball. Was he fouled? The referee said yes, but actually he's allowed play to go on because Arsenal have kept possession, and now we've got a little bit of space with Trossard over on that, Zinchenko over on that far side. Now he finds Trossard inside the penalty area. Zinchenko on the overlap, crosses it towards the far post. Again, there's no Arsenal player there. The headed clip is not very good. Martin Odegaard's there, tries a little flick, but Aston Villa do clear the ball away. And is Saka still down injured, or is he back on his feet again? Because he did get a bit of a whack. The referee rightly played an advantage. It was a good advantage as well, and Arsenal almost made the most of it, but we wasn't able to. Again, the cross comes in, and there's no one there. Anyway, Saka is back on his feet again, still not moving particularly smoothly, is he, on this near side at all? He may require some treatment in a minute. Bukayo Saka, Arsenal's top scorer, but we'll see what happens. This move is still in flow, actually. Gabriel in possession for Arsenal, touches it off to Zinchenko. Gets it back. Gabriel Terry says LT's passing is on point today. He's had a good start to the game. And then that shot comes in from Gabriel Jesus, but it's high and wide. No danger there to Emi Martinez's goal, and Saka is still not moving particularly freely following that challenge on him just a few moments ago. Mark says, when we say to him, Mark, good to see you. They're just showing that incident again there. It was Saka. It was more of a foul actually by Saka, yeah, probably on Morgan Rogers. I don't know actually. Maybe it was I'm not sure. Anyway, Saka's come out worse of that anyway. Nick Neck says, can't stop the game every time Saka goes down. It would go on all day. Absolutely, it would, yeah. I mean, we had the ball anyway. So, I mean, if the referee looked as though he would have given us a free kick, but we had possession of the ball. We played an advantage and we created an opportunity from it, or almost created an opportunity from it. So, yeah, it didn't quite fall for us, did it again? And Aston Villa now in possession. But the ball does go back to goalkeeper Emi Martinez. Back on the ground that he knows, of course, very well. Although he was here for a long time, he didn't play that many games, did he? Due to various reasons. Anyway, Villa are in behind here briefly on this near side with Diaby. Plays the ball across. Good defensive play there from Bukayo Saka. Stopped the cross. And that's a long ball forward, but it's going to run all the way through to Emi Martinez. Good defensive work, though, there from Bukayo Saka. Having to cover for Ben White on that particular occasion and did well. Stop the cross coming in. That's what you've got to do, haven't you? Especially with Aston Villa. Ollie Watkins is going to try and get on the end of anything into the box, isn't he? That's why he's scored so many goals in the last couple of seasons. 25 he's got this season for Aston Villa in all competitions. Incredible. 18 of those have come in the Premier League as well. Anyway, Villa coming forward again, but that's a poor ball. Easy for William Saliba to deal with that. Oh, Declan Rice nearly made a little bit of a meal of that, actually. He almost gifted it back to Aston Villa, but Arsenal do manage to get themselves out of a tight spot. And the ball's now back with Ben White. Plays it square to Gabriel inside the Arsenal penalty area. Now moves it forward up that far side to Zinchenko. Plays it forward. Kai Havertz in again. Is he offside? I think the flag stayed down. He's took his time, Kai Havertz. Oh, good save from Emi Martinez. In fact, I think he may have been offside anyway, was he? I'm not really sure if he was. He looked like he was offside there. The ball played over the top there from Zinchenko. Let's have a look and see if he was offside. Oh, I don't think he was. I don't think he was offside. And he seemed to want to take a little bit longer than maybe he had the time there. And in the end, Emi Martinez has saved Aston Villa. But, yeah, Kai Havertz maybe needed to make a bit more of that. And that's a decent save with his legs there from Emi Martinez. And Nick Neck says it took too long to get the shot. He did, yeah. That's the sort of one where you have to hit that one first time, maybe. He did the previous one he hit first time, and maybe he could have took a touch. And that one there, when he needed to hit it first time, he took a touch and took 2 touches and 3 touches. But anyway, it was another good run, though, wasn't it? Terry says, I ain't saying nothing. It's probably best that you don't, mate. It probably is best that you don't. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward again over on that far side. It is Declan Rice. Plays it square to Martin Odegaard. Saka's in space on this near side. Saka's got the ball now just inside the penalty area. Thinks across the walls of far post. Gabriel Jesus is there, but he's headed it into the side netting. And that was a good chance there from Gabriel Jesus. Again, it was Saka creating a problem there with that cross. A good attack by Arsenal. When we win the ball back, we're looking dangerous, aren't we? Martin Odegaard there found Saka. He took a touch, got it onto his left foot to that far post. Jesus is there. He's got to head it back across the goal, hasn't he? He's tried to head it into that far post, which he was never going to do because Emi Martinez would have just comfortably saved that had it been on target. Nick Nack says there 2 players on the line and he goes near post. Yeah, the wrong option there. It was definitely the wrong option. There's no doubt about that. So yes, not the great, but this is what I'm saying. You see, he's not a natural goal scorer, is he, Jesus? And that's the difference with a player that is, and that's why that's the player that we're lacking, aren't we, in this team and this squad? There's no doubt about that for me. Nick Nack says chances are coming. Oh, they will. We've had 1 or 2 nearly moments, haven't we? I wouldn't say they've been clear chances yet. That was the clearest one yet, wasn't it? That Jesus header, and he needs to have put that back across the way it's come and head it back the way it's came. Because even if it was on target, Emmy Martinez just catches that, doesn't he? Because that's exactly where he was standing. It would have been easy for him, wouldn't it? You've got to go back across the goal anyway. It's easy for us to say sitting here, we're not out there on the pitch, are we? Trying to create those opportunities and put those opportunities away. But that's where it needed to go, quite honestly. Anyway, Villa now are in possession, trying to come forward. They've not really had too many attacks at all, have they? And also just won the ball back again. Martin Odegaard now twisting and turning, looking for an option. Unai Emery was thinking that maybe was a foul, but in the end, nothing's been given. Gabriel now in possession for Arsenal. We've played nearly 19 minutes. We're coming up to the halfway point of this first half. It is still Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0. Martin Odegaard now exchanges passes with Declan Rice. Odegaard gets the ball again. Yeah, some movement ahead of him actually, and now he's threading it through to Bukayo Saka on this near side. And Saka's fired into the near post, into the side netting. This time on the near side, Martin Odegaard with that ball. And good run again from Saka. Again, he was onside. Yes, he was onside. Jesus was offside in the middle. And Saka's tried to fire it in at the near post, but fired it into the side netting. Mark C says, I wish Saka had hit it first time. Yeah, he let it just roll across him, didn't he? And then the angle became more difficult. Nathan says, what a pass. It was a great pass from Martin Odegaard. Absolutely it was. Split that defence wide open. And yeah, maybe Saka needed to hit that first time rather than letting it roll across his body, because then the angle became more difficult for him. Anyway, Villa playing themselves out of trouble here. And now they've got some space coming forward. Oh, it was the wrong ball. Oh, was it the wrong ball? Suddenly Villa have got a player over on the far side. It's Ollie Watkins inside the penalty area. Again, he took too long, actually, and Gabriel was back at him. And Villa, for a moment there, had a player over in a dangerous moment. They still got the ball, though, on the edge of Arsenal. A shot comes in, it's blocked. I think that was Diaby with the shot. That was Rodgers, actually, sorry. Morgan Rodgers it was with the shot there for Villa. It was blocked. But for a moment there, Villa looked in a really dangerous position, wasn't it? Ollie Watkins having a run at the Arsenal defence. And again, he maybe took his time. He could have maybe hit that a little bit earlier. He gave Gabriel the chance to come back at him. And we certainly are going to have to be wary of these attacks from Aston Villa. Diaby now over on that far side. Plays the ball back. Also, they've got Leon Bailey on the bench. I'm not sure of his fitness, actually, because he's a player that I particularly was worried about, because he's such a good player, isn't he? Anyway, Villa are coming forward again. Luca Digne on his near side. It's a low cross. Oh, Zinchenko did well, actually, to read that. And then he's run himself straight into trouble. And Villa have won the ball back. But Martin Odegaard now has picked it up. And now the counter-attack, Jesus is going to try to get there, but he's not going to be able to. That's good defending there. I think it is Ezri Konsa came across. Or was it actually Carlos, the other Brazilian it was? And Aston Villa tidied that up. Nick Nack says, need a goal to settle the nerves. Yes, we do, obviously. I think that's for all of our benefit, really, because it is quite a nervy game. Anyway, Villa are coming forward again to try and add to those nerves. And that's a good ball forward inside to the penalty. Not a good ball back, though, by Ollie Watkins. And now Arsenal can launch a counter-attack of their own. Martin Odegaard drifts past John McGinn, cuts back inside, and then plays the ball out to that far side to Leandro Trossard. He's having a run at the Aston Villa defence. He's just inside the penalty area now on that far side, but he's maybe overrun it a little bit. And Moussa Diaby can tidy that up for Aston Villa. And then Martin Odegaard's committed a foul. Leandro Trossard, has committed a foul. And it'll be a free kick to Aston Villa. We are at the midway point of this first half. And that was Villa's best chance there. They played that well, actually, out from the back. And suddenly it was a 2-on-1. It was for a moment. And Watkins there didn't maybe make the right choice. He took too long and gave Gabriel the chance to come back and get the tackling. Good work, though, from Leandro Trossard, who got back well, actually. And actually, it was Trossard's work that maybe made it easier for Gabriel there. It's a good defending from Trossard, it was. But yeah, an opportunity there for Ollie Watkins that he'll feel he could have done better with the number of goals he has scored this season. Nick Nax says, a good game this so far. It's a good game. Mark C says, great cover from Trossard, helping the defence. Indeed, it was. It was really good play. And Naomi Martinez is out there to grab that ball ahead of Kai Havertz. Wasn't a great clearance, actually. And Zinchenko is going to try and chip it back in again, but it's gone wide. That would have been a goal from inside his own half almost, wouldn't it? From Zinchenko there. That clearance there from Emi Martinez wasn't a great clearance, was it? It went straight to Zinchenko and he took a touch and then hit a shot, which was always drifting wide, but that would have been a quite sensational goal, wouldn't it, from Zinchenko there, if that had gone in. I'm trying to remember, it was that scored a goal like that before in the Premier League a few years ago. I seem to remember one from a similar kind of situation. But that one was off target. And Villa now trying to play the ball out from the back again, which they've done quite successfully at times in this game. But William Saliba steps in there in front of Ollie Watkins. And now Arsenal coming forward again with Declan Rice. Was there a foul in midfield? Referee says play on. Martin Odegaard's got the ball, so why not? Looking for a movement in front of him. He finds Jesus. Now it's with Ben White and Bukayo Saka. Arsenal getting into the rhythm now. This could be good. Now the ball's played back again to Jesus inside the penalty. A nice feat from Jesus. Can he get the shot away? He does, but it's blocked. Great defending it was from Aston Villa. Committed defending. It was John McGinn, actually. You know what you're going to get with him, don't you? He's not going to let anybody get an easy chance, is he? Anyway, Arsenal, though, still are in possession with Ben White, but we've gone back towards halfway now. Now it's with Saka on this near side. Bukayo Saka bringing the ball forward, plays it in field to Declan Rice. Now it's square to Gabriel. Now it's out to that far side. Leandro Trossard. Arsenal starting to ask a few questions of this Aston Villa defence. They don't have the best defensive record, do they? They've conceded a few goals, certainly in the last few games. Anyway, Arsenal now looking for that breakthrough. Saka on this near side, plays it back to Ben White, gets it back Saka. Arsenal playing this well. Is there going to be a final flourish here? Martin Odegaard inside the box. Plays the ball to Saka. Can he keep it in? Pull it back. He does. Good defending again, though, by Aston Villa. And they've managed to win themselves a goal kick. Nathan says, playing some nice football. We are indeed. Nick Nack says, no, I wasn't meaning Naeem. I remember that one. That was a different type of goal, wasn't it? That was terrible, that. Terry says Winterburn. I don't think Winterburn scored from inside his own half, did he? I don't know. Anyway, it's a corner to Arsenal, actually, not a goal kick. We've played 25 minutes. And it's been largely Arsenal possession. Arsenal have had the majority of the play. But Villa have looked dangerous on one or two counter-attacks that they've managed to put together. Anyway, we'll see what happens from this corner, which is going to be played in towards the near post by Saka. Header comes in. Aston Villa do clear it away. They're quite a big side, Villa, aren't they? They've got some tall defenders, but they run themselves into trouble a little bit. Trossard now pops up on this near side. Leandro Trossard. Now it's with Saka. Can he keep it in? He can just about, but he can't do anything with it, and Villa can pick the ball up. They're happy to play their football, Villa, aren't they? And they've played it well again out of the back. And now they're coming forward up this near side. They play some nice football, Villa, when they've had the opportunity to. The Arby's now pops up on this near side. He's got an overlap as well with Zanolo. Gets the ball on this near side. But Arsenal now have got bodies back. And that shuts that particular door. Mark C says, overcooking again from the corner. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, we do that quite a lot, don't we? We've sometimes got an opportunity, haven't we, to get the ball sort of into the box, and I don't know, overcooking it, you're right. Anyway, Villa now in possession. They're just slowing it down a little bit, which probably makes sense from their perspective. They've been under quite a little bit of pressure, haven't they, in the last 10 minutes or so. Pau Torres plays it back to Carlos, gets it back again. Torres dinks a ball over the top up this near side. It's a decent ball. Good touch as well from Luca Digne. Got himself forward. The left back for Aston Villa finds Pau Torres again. This is a better spell from Villa in terms of possession, although they're not making too many inroads towards the Arsenal goal. John McGinn threads the ball through. That's a good ball, actually. Ollie Watkins, it's a good run from Ollie Watkins, but good defensive play there from Ben White. Just stepped in. Looked as though Ollie Watkins was going to get a pass away over on that far side. It could have opened up that Arsenal defence. Good defending, though, from Ben White. A good tackle there. And Arsenal picked up possession again. But you can feel the tension, can't you? Every time Villa come forward, they've got some good players. They've got some pace. And they certainly posed some problems for us. I've got the ball again now, actually. This is a good spell for Villa. It's probably their best spell of this first half, in actual fact. Arsenal have won 5 of the last 6 meetings here at the Emirates against Aston Villa. It was that one game, you remember the 3-0 defeat we suffered during the COVID season in front of the empty stadium here at the Emirates when Villa won 3-0. At the time we was really struggling, wasn't we? In Mikel Arteta's first full season at the club. Anyway, Villa coming forward now. Diaby over on the far side, on the edge of the penalty area. This is good from Villa. There's an overlap over on that far side. A cross comes in, but wasn't a great cross, actually. It's gone behind for it was every concert getting forward there. The Aston Villa fullback wasn't a great crosser, was it? It's put it behind for a goal kick to Arsenal. Nathan says Villa coming into the game. They are, yes, they've had a good spell. Last 3 or 4 minutes, they've looked a lot better, had a lot more controlled possession, and had 1 or 2 opportunities just in and around the Arsenal penalty area. So let's see whether Arsenal can respond to this better spell from Villa. It's certainly a very open, even game, isn't it? It could go either way still. You know, Arsenal have had the better of it so far, but we haven't scored. And Villa have shown enough to keep us on our toes and know that we can't relax at all. Another ball put in, Kai Havertz in. Can he get away? You know, he can't. Good defending again, actually. Emi Martinez is going to try and prevent a corner, but he can't do so. And that was Carlos there, Diego Carlos, the Brazilian, on the German Kai Havertz. Again, Kai Havertz is getting into these great little pockets of space, isn't he? Those balls over the top. But he didn't quite have the pace, did he, to get away from Carlos there. Good defending. And you have to say that's the one thing Kai Havertz isn't blessed with, is he? The great, that explosive enough pace. And he's now hobbling, actually, which isn't too good, is it? Anyway, he's holding his knee. But he's an Arsenal corner. And Terry says, ain't saying nothing. That's probably best not to for the time being. Anyway, we've played nearly half an hour. It is still Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0. And as things stand, Man City will be the happiest this weekend, won't they? Their 5-1 victory yesterday over Luton has put them top of the table by 2 points. But 3 points here for Arsenal will send us back there with 1 game less to play. And that's crucial, isn't it? Anyway, this corner on this near side, Bukayo Saka is going to take it for Arsenal, whipped in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, goes all the way across and no one could get their head on it. Gabriel was probably the nearest Arsenal player to it there. Couldn't quite get on the end of that corner. A lovely ball, actually, from Saka. A lovely delivery into the edge of the 6-yard box. And in the end, Gabriel couldn't quite get round. He was being held off there by and every concert, I think it was. And in the end, the ball's gone behind for a goal kick to Aston Villa. That was a decent corner, that. But good strength there from Konsa to hold off Gabriel, who does, you know, he gets a lot of goals, doesn't he, Gabriel, from centre-back? I think he's got 3 or 4 this season, hasn't he, already? Well, he almost got 2 in 1 game, but I'm sure one of them ended up being an own goal, didn't it? Was it Crystal Palace game? I think it was, wasn't it, when he got those 2 headers? But so I'm sure one went down as an own goal. But he's dangerous, isn't he, from those situations? But he couldn't quite get on the end of that for Arsenal. And now Emi Martinez has got the ball at his feet inside the Aston Villa penalty area. Find a bit of pressure, plays the ball up this near side. And Villa again are trying to play it out from the back, even though they're under pressure. But they've played it quite well, actually. And I remember when Arsenal tried to do this when Unai Emery was our manager, and it gave us heart attacks, didn't it, nearly every time? I'm sure the Villa fans are probably getting heart attacks as well. But actually, so far today, they've done it pretty well, in actual fact. Anyway, Arsenal have picked up possession now with Gabriel, and now it's Zinchenko plays out the far side. It's played on again to Gabriel Jesus. McGinn's across there, snapping away the little Scotsman at Gabriel Jesus, and the ball ends up going through to Declan Rice. He's going to look running into the box, tries to put it through to Trossard. Trossard, can he get the cross in? Oh, he fell over there inside the penalty area, claimed he was fouled. I didn't think it was a foul. Arsenal have kept possession of Trossard again. Is he offside? I think the flag stayed down. Arsenal still in possession. Jesus into Martin Ødegaard, tried to flick it back, but it's well read again. It's McGinn. He's a good little player, isn't he, John McGinn? You've got to say he's a tenacious guy. He gets stuck in. He's a good captain, isn't he, for Aston Villa? And he done well there. And Aston Villa in the end have cleared it away. But it is a throw to Arsenal over on that far side in front of the West Stand. It's going to be Zinchenko with it. 32.5 minutes played. Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0. And it's been a very tense half an hour or so, hasn't it, so far? Now Villa breaking forward again. Suddenly there's some space opening up. Villa coming forward, ball threaded through. It wasn't a good ball, actually. And David Raya will grab that quite comfortably there ahead of Moussa Diaby. And Arsenal managed to deal with that. Wasn't a great ball, was it? I think it was Rodgers there, Morgan Rodgers in midfield, just overhit that pass. And now Arsenal coming forward. Bukayo Saka on this near side, plays the ball square to Martin Ødegaard. Wasn't a great ball. He does get it back though. Saka threads it in, looking for Gabriel Jesus, but Villa again have cleared it away. They've defended well so far, Villa. And I say they are posing a threat when they're coming forward, which they are at the moment as well through midfield. But Martin Ødegaard wins the ball back well. He's having a great game. Martin Ødegaard in the centre of midfield for Arsenal. Kai Havertz now from the edge of the box tries a shot, blocked quite comfortably by Diego Carlos. A shot comes in again from Trossard, this time over on that far side. Again, it's blocked. And Villa have managed to clear the ball away. In fact, they've done well over on that far side. It was Diaby there. And Villa now picked up possession again. Mark C says, we're trying to be overly intricate again, playing football in the space of our phone box. Yeah, well, we don't have, Villa aren't allowing us a lot of space, are they, I suppose? But yeah, you're right. We are trying to overplay it. But that's our style, isn't it? That's what we do. We're all used to it by now, aren't we? Because we've seen enough games over the last few years to know how Arteta wants us to play. And that's basically what it is. That's how we play, isn't it? And when it comes off, it's great, isn't it? And when it doesn't come off, then we get frustrated, as we have been so far today. But there's still plenty of time left in this game. We've only played 34 minutes. And Emmy Martin is currently in possession of the ball at his feet. And he's going to go longer this time into midfield. And actually, Villa have done well again. Oh, that's a nice turn. In fact, there was a pullback by Ben White. The referee allows play to go on because Villa's still in possession. It's Diaby on the edge of the box. He's going to try a shot from distance. Again, it's blocked. And the Villa didn't make the most of that advantage, did they? Nathan says there, Rodgers is picking pockets in behind the midfield. Need to cut that out. Yeah, he's looked good, hasn't he? Some of his passing hasn't always been quite spot on as his final ball, but he's certainly causing us some problems. Bukayo Saka now on his near side plays the ball in field to Declan Rice. I think Ben White was a bit lucky to escape a yellow card there, actually, when he tried to pull back Rodgers in that break. And obviously the referee allowed the advantage to go on because Villa had possession. But I think had the referee given a free kick, he would probably have booked Ben White. Anyway, Zinchenko just booted the ball out. There must be an injury. There is an injury. It looks like it's Zanola. It is for Aston Villa, who's gone down. Oh, in fact, the referee is going to give a yellow card. A good refereeing, actually. He has pulled it back and given a yellow card to Ben White. I said Ben White was fortunate not to get one before, but actually the referee's done well there because it was a yellow card, clearly. It was a yellow card offence. Martin Ødegaard's just speaking to the referee. I don't think you have too many complaints there. Ben White got himself too tight, and then he did pull back the Aston Villa player, although he was able to still get the ball. Yes, that is a yellow card. Well done, referee. Ben White can't be doing it. Anyway, that same player, Zaniolo, has gone down with this injury. Not quite sure it was caused by that necessarily. It wasn't. No, two Aston Villa players collided injuries. It was Yuri Tielemans and Zanola there crashed into each other in the aftermath of that previous Arsenal attack. And this looks like it could be quite a serious injury for the Italian. And he's getting some treatment on the pitch now. The first real injury that we've had in this game. Although he's got his knee strapped already, so maybe he was carrying a bit of a knock. In any case, we haven't really mentioned Yuri Tielemans too often in this game. He's not had that much impact, has he, so far? But anyway, it is going to be not quite sure. It's going to be a throw, isn't it, to Arsenal because the ball there was kicked out by. Well, it's going to be a throw to Aston Villa. The ball was kicked out by Zinchenko for that injury. So I'm sure they'll just throw the ball back to us, won't they? So we'll see what happens there. But it is a throw to Aston Villa. It looks like Zaniolo is going to be okay. He's just about to come back on again, having had his treatment there for that injury, which it looked like it was his own player. He collided with Yuri Tielemans. Of course, next Saturday, we've got a late game on Saturday evening, haven't we? Away at Wolves, 7:30 kickoff. Incredible on a Saturday evening. I'm sure there's better things you could be doing with your Saturday evening than watching a game of football. But anyway, it's what we're going to have to do next week because that's what time the kickoff is. And of course, before that, it's Bayern Munich on Wednesday night, which is going to be very, very tense. Anyway, Saka now in possession for Arsenal on this near side. Ben White's gone, started off going around the outside, cut inside now. It's with Declan Rice inside the penalty, plays it across the box. Dangerous ball again. It's good defending actually. I'm sure that was Diego Carlos again, who's been a thorn in our side this season, hasn't he? Because he played well up at Villa Park, if you remember, and he's having a good game today. Anyway, Saka again though for Arsenal. Just plays the ball square to Martin Ødegaard. I wanted to try and get it onto his left foot for a shot. Instead, it's gone over to that far side. Leandro Trossard, 37.5 minutes on the clock. Martin Ødegaard inside the box this time. His shot's blocked well, actually, by Pau Torres, I think it was. But Villa can't clear the ball away. And now it's with Kai Havertz on this near side. Thinks a cross up, looking for Saka. Saka gets his head to it, but it's over the top. Under pressure there and Saka couldn't keep that header down. Mark C says the Villa goal leading a charmed life. Well, I mean, it's leading a charmed life to a certain degree. I just don't think we're looking clinical enough when we get that ball into the box. I mean, that's a decent enough cross, but Saka under pressure couldn't direct that on target. Anyway, it's a goal kick to Aston Villa. Emi Martinez plays it up this near side. The Villa again, they're determined to keep playing out from the back, aren't they? They go longer this time, though. Oh, that's a poor header defensively from Arsenal. It's going to be a free kick, is it, to Aston Villa? Oh, there's a mistake at the back. Ollie Watkins is in. Ollie Watkins now having a run inside the Arsenal penalty. Fires a shot. He's at the inside of the post. Oh, that was so close to a goal for Villa. I don't quite know what Arsenal are doing there. That had shades of the Bayern Munich game the other night, didn't it? We looked in complete and utter control there. And then Gabriel, I think it was, just gave the ball away. Ollie Watkins was in. It was a good effort from just inside the penalty area. It beat David Reyes, come back off the inside of the post. Incredible. Villa were a fraction of an inch away there from taking the lead, and suddenly Arsenal coming forward again. Gabriel Jesus plays it square to Saka. He's laid it off. Martin Odegaard's shot. It's deflected back to Jesus. Pulls it across. Oh, what a save that is from Martinez. Saka again, and he's put it wide. But Emi Martinez there has made a fantastic save for Aston Villa. He celebrates it like it's a goal. And Arsenal, from almost going 1-0 down, almost got the 1-0 up. It was, in fact, it wasn't Saka. It was it Trossard's effort there? It was Trossard from 6 yards out. That's a great save from Emi Martinez. And then the follow-up from Bukayo Saka. In fact, it was Gabriel's clearance hit Zinchenko just before that. And Ollie Watkins' shot. Oh, it hit the inside of the post and then bounced back across the goal. And in fact, could have actually gone in off the other post. Instead, it just bounced wide. And Arsenal had a let-off at one end. And then, wow, there was a let-off for Villa at the other end as well. Terry says, what a save indeed it was. Wow, what a few minutes of football that was. Both teams could have scored in a space of, 25, 30 seconds. Incredible. And it sums up this first half. It's been exciting, but so tense as well. It's ridiculous. Anyway, Villa now are in possession, and that was the biggest chance of the game for Villa. Straight away, the biggest chance of the game for Arsenal. And somehow it's still 0-0. Maybe it should be 1-1. But anyway, Arsenal in possession now. And that was a good save from Emi Martinez. And that is why he's one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. Wonder who he used to play for. Anyway, Bukayo Saka now coming forward. Ben White on the overlap. Cuts in field. Good play from Ben White. Finds Saka again. Can he get that shot away? He does. Oh, curls it round Martinez, but it just goes wide of that far post. And good play that was there from Bukayo Saka again. Looking similar to the goal he got against Bayern Munich the other night, wasn't it? That similar sort of finish with that left foot, bending it round. But that one just bent wide. I think Martinez maybe had that covered if it was going to go in. He took it a good shot. Well, I don't know if he would have actually. It may have just whipped past the keeper before he could have got there. But it was unlucky that from Saka. Didn't quite curl enough, did it, into that far post. Mikel Arteta is trying to lift the crowd. I think it's more tension than anything else at the moment. You have to say it's such a tense game, this. It really, really is. It's edge of the seat stuff, really, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's exciting. It's tense. And this is what a title race is all about, isn't it? It's not something that we've experienced too often, is it, in recent years? Not at this point in the season anyway. Last season, it was all falling apart for us. And so far this season, it isn't. But this game could be the game that maybe is going to play the crucial role either way. I think if we can find a way to win this game and go back to the top of the table, then you have to say one less game to play. There's a mistake at the back from Villa. Jesus is in. Is this going to be the moment for Arsenal? He finds Trossard. No, he couldn't quite get that ball under control. It wasn't the greatest pass through, if we're totally honest. And in the end, Villa clear it away. We're not for very far because Declan Rice is on it quickly. And Villa do manage to clear it away. Defended well, Aston Villa, for the most part, you have to say. Anyway, they're trying to come forward now, and they have looked good in possession of the ball as well, haven't they? Aston Villa, they're certainly comfortable with the ball. You can see they're a decent team. You can see why they're challenging for that top four. And I think the future is bright for Aston Villa. If they can get themselves into the Champions League next season, they can maybe attract one or two better players and money involved in that as well. And they could be a team to challenge for bigger trophies in the next few years. They do look a very well organised side. They've got some very good players. They've got a style and system that's working for them. And well done to Aston Villa. But we need to find a way to beat them, because that's what we have to do. John McGinn with this ball to this near side. Saka there's again good defensive work again from Bukayo Saka. He's done some great defensive work in this first half, hasn't he? You have to say. Anyway, Declan Rice now in possession again. Plays the ball out to Alexander Zinchenko. The first half, we're into the last minute and a half. There's going to be some stoppage time, of course, for that injury. Leandro Trossard for Arsenal over on that far side, plays it back to Zinchenko. Threads the ball through. Kai Havertz is in again, rolls it across the goalkeeper, and the ball's been put behind. In fact, was he offside? Not sure if he was. I think he may well have been, actually. I think it's going to be a free kick to Aston Villa. But again, that was good play. Oh, I don't know, actually. Was Luca Digne on this near side playing him on? Didn't matter anyway, because he put it across the goal. There was no Arsenal player there. Again, you see, lacking that instinct of a striker to get themselves on the edge of that 6-yard box there. They're just showing the Ollie Watkins chance again, and that was the nearest we've come to a goal in reality. Hit the inside of the post and then curled away. Could easily have gone anywhere. Then straight up the other end. Trossard, oh, it's a save with his foot there from Emi Martinez. The shot was quite close to him. Had it been in either corner, it would have been a goal. Terry says, if Aston Villa make top four and get into Champions League, they too will be able to buy players like 29 and 35. Yeah, but I don't think Unai Emery would buy those players, would he? And Villa have now got a free kick right on the edge of the Arsenal penalty area. Gabriel it is with the foul. He's protesting. It was on Ollie Watkins, who's gone down. It was just, in fact, it's Rodgers who's just gone down. I don't think you can have too many complaints, really. Oh, he kicks him right in the chest, actually. That's almost it should be a yellow card, maybe, for Gabriel there. It was a very high kick, wasn't it? And just on the edge of the box as well. I'm talking about that Man United one yesterday, the Aston Villa, the Bournemouth Man United game yesterday. That was a similar situation, wasn't it? Right on the edge of the box. That was only a free kick. Oh, Gabriel did get a yellow card for that. Yeah, I think rightly so as well. He's kicked him up here. So, of course, it's a yellow card. Anyway, it's going to be a free kick to Villa right at the end of this first half. It's going to be 2 minutes of stoppage time, which we've just gone into now. And Villa have a free kick right on the edge of the ball, just outside the D. In fact, it's right on the D, on the edge of the Arsenal penalty area, just slightly to that right-hand side. And this is a big chance for Aston Villa just before half-time. And what a big time to score this would be. Not the best time for Arsenal. There's going to be Luca Digne over this, McGinn and Yuri Tielemans. David Reyes lining up his wall. Has he got his angles right for this one? We'll have to see. It's a big moment this in the game, isn't it? Right on half-time, a free kick to Aston Villa, right on the edge of that Arsenal penalty. So what, about 2 or 3 yards outside the box. This is a big moment in this game, potentially, this free kick for Aston Villa. I think it might well be John McGinn's going to hit this with power, or is Luca Digne going to try and clip it over that wall with his left foot? Or maybe Yuri Tielemans. It is. Luca Digne hits the wall, and that wasn't a great free kick, actually. And Villa didn't make the most of that at all, did they? Really, really poor free kick that was. And in fact, there's going to be Gabriel it was that took the brunt of that free kick. He gave it away in the first half. And Gabriel is now just getting back to his feet again. Looks like he's got the ball in his face there. From that free kick. It wasn't the greatest free kick, really, was it? But anyway, Arsenal dealt with that quite comfortably. And I'm not quite sure what's happening now. It's going to be a drop ball, in actual fact, to Arsenal. And Zinchenko plays it back to William Saliba. Just knocks it here to Ben White on his near side. Ben White just gives it back again to William Saliba. Now it's with Zinchenko in the very central midfield area that he likes to take. We've played the 2 minutes of stoppage time, but that ball over the top's going to run all the way through to Emi Martinez. And there's not going to be a lot of time left now in this first half, you don't feel. And Emi Martinez is just going to pick this ball up. And as soon as he kicks it out of his hands, you think the half-time whistle is probably going to sound here at the Emirates. And he's not in any rush to take this, is he, Martinez? He made a good save, didn't he? And he does go long. And still we play on, actually. I thought the referee might have been blowing for half-time there, but he's not. In fact, there's a free kick to Aston Villa again here, midway inside. It was Yuri Tielemans that was fouled by Martin Odegaard, the 2 number 8s. And it's a free kick to Aston Villa again. So we still got some more defending to do before half-time. It's just got a little bit scrappy, hasn't it, these last couple of moments of this first half. John McGinn is going to take this free kick, though. It's too far out for a shot, but he's going to whip it in towards the edge of that penalty area. John McGinn, the Aston Villa captain. And this is going to be one last piece of defending Arsenal going to have to do before half-time. McGinn whips it into the penalty over on the far side. Oh, it was almost an opportunity there. It was every concert came in. In fact, that is the last action of the first half. It is Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0 at the break. And a very, very tense first half. There's been chances at both ends. Ollie Watkins hit the inside of the post for Villa. Trossard brought a great save out of Emi Martinez as well straight after that. Arsenal had one or two nearly moments. Villa were threatened on the counter-attack on one or two occasions. This game could go either way. But at half-time, it is Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0. And that result obviously suits Manchester City better than anybody else, doesn't it? Let's be honest. But it's been a good game, absolutely has. Nathan says that first half flew by, a really tight game. It's difficult to call. No, it is. You're right. Absolutely difficult to call. Could go either way, this. Absolutely, it could. Let's hope it's going to go our way because that's what we need. That's what we want to happen, isn't it? So let's wait and see. But yeah, it was a good first half, exciting. Lots happened, but no goals. And that's the most important part of a game, isn't it? Goals. You know, it's all very well watching an exciting game as we have, but we need a goal from somewhere. And Aston Villa have certainly threatened as well, haven't they? So yeah, you're right, Nathan. Could go either way, my friend. It could actually go either way. Tense, isn't it? Tense. Right. I've got a little bit of prep to do for the women's game as well. So I'm going to just do that quickly. Terry says, nervy half, get Eddie on to calm the nerves. Well, yeah, getting Eddie on would definitely calm my nerves. I'm sure that could calm yours as well. Absolutely. 100%. That's exactly what would happen. But anyway, let's wait and see what happens. So I'm just going to get some prep done for the women's game. And in the meantime, I will, leave you with a little bit of funky music if I can find it. Where's it gone? Just before that.
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
It is. It's embarrassing that I can't find the music I was going to play for you. Where's it gone? Oh, here we go. It's here. Right. I will see you very, very shortly, guys. All right. Take it easy. I'll join you for the second half. So we're getting ready for the second half here at the Emirates. Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0. That was quite a first half, wasn't it? And lots went on, didn't it? Lots went on. Eddie says, Terry says, enjoy your tea and Yorkie bar. No, it's not time for tea and Yorkie bar yet. I've got 2 games to get through. I'm going to have to save that for a bit later, aren't I? Because that's going to have to come maybe after this game, in between this game and the women's game. So yeah, we'll be covering the Arsenal women as well against Bristol City. That game kicks off at 6:45. So I'll probably go. We'll end this stream when the game's finished. We'll then join the new stream for the women's game. Decided to separate them because I just feel as though that's probably the best option really to do it. So let's see. But yeah, so join me for that one straight after this game on the other stream, and then we'll go from there, which is going to be good, isn't it? So I'm sure Arsenal will definitely win that one, but we'll see, won't we, whether or not it's going to be enough for us to win the league. My guess is probably not, but we shall see when the season is done and dusted. But have we left ourselves too much to do? That's my thinking in the women, but we shall see. But for the time being, we're going to focus, of course, on the rest of this game, the second half, which is going to be very, very tense, isn't it? I'm sure you'll agree. But we've put ourselves in a good position in this game. We've had some chances. We could easily be ahead, couldn't we? Let's be honest. But then we could also be behind because Villa did have a really good chance, didn't they, when Ollie Watkins hit that inside of that post. So anything can happen in the second half, couldn't it? Anything could happen. But let's see. Hopefully, Arsenal can get a goal, get ourselves in front. You do feel the first goal. We say this quite a lot, don't we? The first goal is so important. And you have to say that in this particular game, you do feel as though the first goal will be really important, won't it? Let's hope it does. That gets it. So yeah, just in case you've been, I don't know, asleep or hiding for the last couple of hours or so, Liverpool did lose at home to Crystal Palace. It's been a bad week for Liverpool, hasn't it? Throwing away the lead at Man U last week, losing in the Europa League on Thursday, and then losing today at home to Crystal Palace as well. It's not often Liverpool lose at Anfield twice in a week, is it? Twice in three days. So that was a little bit of a shock there, wasn't it? So all that means is we are currently, as things stand, with the point that we've currently got from this game, we're only 1 point above Liverpool, though, for all that. And we will still be 1 point behind Manchester City, wouldn't we, as well? So we'll see. Terry says, the way City are rolling at the moment, we need to win this game. So absolutely. I mean, I said it before at the start of the game, looking at the fixtures that's left, even probably not even looking at the fixtures that's left, but having looked at the fixtures that's left, I think City will win all their games that's left. I do. I think they will. So the only way we're going to win the league is by winning all of ours. And you look at some of the games that we've got and you say, can we win them all? Well, we still got to win this one today first. Otherwise, Man City really will have an advantage. But yeah, I think that result for Liverpool today, as much as it's potentially going to help us out, should we win this game in particular, I think it's maybe made City the favourites to win the league now. I really do think it has with the games that's left, personally. It's going to be a big ask, isn't it? With the run that we've been on since the turn of the year, to go on and win the rest of our games, I just think that's a really big ask. I think Man City, we know they're capable of doing that. Are we? That's the question mark that I've got. Hope I'm wrong. Obviously, of course, I hope I'm wrong. But let's see. We need to win this game first. Otherwise, we're playing catch up to City. And what you don't want to be doing with 6 games left is playing catch up with Man City. But you just don't want to be doing it there, because the momentum that they get, they just roll on, don't they? As Terry said there. And yeah, that is obviously a big concern, isn't it? Can we keep with them? The only way we're going to keep with them, obviously, is to keep winning all our games. That's what we've got to do. But it's certainly not going to be easy, is it? So let's see what happens. But we need to win this one first. I've always said the same. Keep your feet on the ground. Let's make sure that we keep our feet on the ground, and we take one game at a time. So we'll see what happens. Terry says with Bayern in a week as well. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'm not even going to be thinking about Bayern Munich yet, because we've got to get this game out of the way first. I can't even think about Bayern Munich yet, while this game is still 0-0 and still in the balance. I mean, if we can go 2 or 3 up in the second half, then I'll start thinking about Bayern Munich. Then otherwise, I won't be thinking of Bayern Munich at all, not until this game's completely finished and over. But yeah, it's all we can do, isn't it? Go one game at a time. But yeah, it is going to be tough. It's going to be a big ask and tough for us to win the league. Absolutely it is. So let's see. But we need to win this one first, don't we? Before we start thinking about that. But yeah, I felt at the time when I saw Liverpool result, I didn't watch the game because I choose not to. That's my way of dealing with it all. I don't watch the other teams. I'll just catch the result at the end and see what the result is. That's what I did with Liverpool. Obviously, the game was still going on. I expected it to have been finished, but there was a bit of stoppage time, wasn't there? So it was still going on 1-0, and I didn't watch it. Obviously, I had it on the BBC app. I saw the score, and that's it. That's what I do. That's how I deal with it. And I'm not going to watch any of the other teams' games, but I am going to watch the second half of this game, of course, where we need a goal from somewhere, and the teams are back out for this second half at the Emirates. Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0. We will, of course, be attacking the North Bank in the second half, which do we favour that end slightly still? I don't know. It's a tough one, isn't it? Because I don't know what the goals have worked out this season, but we seem to have scored as many at the clock end as we have at the North Bank, I would say. So maybe it's not such an advantage that it used to be. But anyway, it's going to have to be an advantage in this second half because that is the end that we are now attacking. And that's the end we're going to have to score in, let's be honest. Because if we don't, then we don't win this game. And if we don't win this game, it is advantage City. And it is going to be Arsenal to kick off, though. We will be attacking the goal to our left, which is, of course, the North Bank, even though they are trying to confuse us with the camera angles that they're throwing on us at the minute. But Arsenal are attacking the North Bank in the second half. There's been no changes at half-time, which is unsurprising when you look at the way that first half went. What would you change at the moment? We're playing pretty well. Villa are playing pretty well. It's just trying to get that breakthrough. Anyway, we are back off and underway here at the Emirates. It is Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0. Mark C says, come on you Reds, indeed. Terry says, come on you Gunners, need to all stand up in this half. We do, yeah, we need to stand up, be counted, and we need to really show what it's all about, because this is when it matters, isn't it? I've said this before, that these are the games, aren't they? This is when there's the real pressure on. You're not likely to, when you're playing a team like Aston Villa, who they're no mugs, are they? You're not going to win a game 3 or 4-0. You're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to battle for everything and try and sneak a win somehow. And that's all that matters. And that's what it's about today. It always was about that today. My prediction was 2-1. But I said I wouldn't be, and I still wouldn't be totally surprised if this ends in a draw, just because I always felt that was always going to be likely, with the pressure. And Villa are a good side with a lot to play for. Not an easy game at all, and it hasn't been an easy game. And we need to find something a little bit different in the second half, because although we played pretty well, we didn't create a lot of good chances, did we? There was that one big one from Trossard straight after Villa's big chance for Watkins. And you could say maybe on the balance of it all, maybe a draw at this moment in time is probably a fair result with the way that the game's gone. I think both teams have played well, and both teams could have scored one big chance each. So yeah, it's all to play for still. Anyway, Aston Villa are now coming forward early in the second half. William Saliba got involved there. Maybe the ball could have run through to David Raya, but he's dealt with it and he has won a throw. He's saying he didn't hear the goalkeeper there. But David Raya is applauding him maybe for dealing with it anyway. And maybe sometimes as a defender, that's what you've got to do. Yes, your goalkeeper should come and get that. He should be calling for it. But if you're not sure, you've got to deal with it. And William Saliba did deal with that. And he has won a throw in front of those Aston Villa fans, which Ben White is going to take for Arsenal over on that far side. Villa are attacking, I say, the end where their fans are, which I always think as the away team, that is the advantage, isn't it? When you're attacking that end where your fans are. I'm not saying that the fans suck the ball in the net necessarily, but I do think it's an advantage when you're attacking that end. And I don't know what the statistics are, but I'm pretty sure more teams score away from home when they're attacking that end where their fans are. But anyway, Villa are coming forward, but not for long, because Declan Rice steps in, and now Arsenal can launch a counter-attack of their own. Kai Havertz in possession, running forward. He's got Saka outside him. He's got Jesus through the middle. He finds Jesus inside the penalty area, and Jesus goes down rather theatrically, as he tends to do. And I don't think that helps his cause. I'm not sure if that was a penalty. It is his compatriot Carlos. It was the defender for Aston Villa. And no, that's not a penalty, is it? No, absolutely no chance. He's always looking to go down here, isn't he, Jesus? It was a little bit of a tangle of legs. No, that's not a penalty for me. And I think that was the right decision to give the goal kick. 48 minutes played, so we've had 3 minutes of the second half. Neither team have really got going yet, but Aston Villa are now looking to launch an attack. Nick Neck says, lucky not to be booked for diving. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if it was a dive. I think he knew there was going to be, or he felt there was going to be contact. And it was just a coming together of legs, wasn't it? It was a 50-50. It's not a foul. I didn't necessarily think it was a dive. He threw himself to the ground a little bit. Yes, I agree with that side of it. But I don't know. What I don't like is when it's not a foul. It's clearly not a penalty, and the player's trying to influence the referee. And maybe in that sense, I'm not necessarily saying he dived as such, but he was trying to get a penalty. He was trying to influence the referee's decision. And yeah, I don't like to see that from anybody. I don't like to see it. I don't like to see it from our players in particular. There was one the other night, wasn't it? Was it Ben White? I hate to see that kind of thing. We should be better than that. We should be above that. Anyway, Arsenal now won a free kick right outside the penalty. It was a handball by Yuri Tielemans. There was talk, do you remember a few years ago of him coming to Arsenal? And I think now it's not, his career's not quite worked out in a way that he maybe expected it to. But he's battling away with Aston Villa. He's won a few trophies, hasn't he? In his time at Leicester, and he's now looking at trying to get into the Champions League. Anyway, Arsenal got a free kick now on the edge of the box, which there's quite a lineup of players who want to take this by the look of it. So we'll see how this works out. But Aston Villa have conceded some of the most set piece goals this season, which is strange, isn't it? But anyway, it's a free kick to Arsenal on the edge of the box, and let's see whether or not this is going to lead to an Arsenal breakthrough, which we're all desperate for, aren't we? But as things stand, we are still waiting for that breakthrough. It's been a frustrating game in many ways. It's been a typical game at the end of the season when you're chasing a title, I guess, isn't it? That's the way it is, isn't it? Sometimes with these sort of games, you just got to find a way to win. That's what it's about, isn't it? And that's what we've got to try and do. Oh, hang on 2 seconds. My stream's just gone funny. For God's sake. I don't know why I bothered. I'll try to change my thing because I thought it might help, but in the end, it's just made it worse. Hang on 2 seconds. Well, we'll be back 2 seconds. My stream went funny. I tried to change it and I should have done because it made it worse. So let's go back and start again, shall we? I do apologise for all of this. We'll soon get there. Do not worry. Hopefully, we haven't missed anything too much. I'm pretty sure we won't have done. Right, let's get back to where we were. I thought I'd try and get a better one, but it's my own fault. I should just stick with what I had because it wasn't actually too bad. Overall, it was pretty good. Anyway, let's see where we are, shall we? Anyway, it's still 0-0. So obviously that free kick came to nothing. And Aston Villa are now coming forward at the other end of the pitch. Oh, that was pretty cool defending there from Gabriel, actually. Just let that ball run through to the goalkeeper, David Ray. It was a good run, actually, from Diaby. And Aston Villa have now picked the ball up again in midfield with Diaby again. And now it's with McGinn. And we've played 52 minutes. Still Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0. And it's a result that would suit Aston Villa, I'm sure. It would definitely suit Manchester City. Even Liverpool wouldn't be crying about it, but it certainly doesn't suit us, does it? It's a game we need to win. There's still plenty of time. We do tend to score quite a lot of late goals, don't we? So I'm not getting too worried quite yet. But Villa at the moment are coming forward with Diaby. He's a decent player, doesn't he, actually? But that wasn't a great ball, as I say that. Zinchenko cuts it out. And now it's back with Gabriel and Arsenal now trying to play it out from the back as well. Aston Villa have done pretty well in this game as well, haven't they? Declan Rice touches it off to Saka over on that far side. And Ben White's going to keep that ball in, is he? Arsenal putting themselves under a little bit of pressure there. And yeah, it's a long ball out, but it's picked up only by Aston Villa. And Arsenal created a few issues for themselves that we didn't really need to there, didn't we? Anyway, we are back in possession again. It's now with Konsa midway inside the Arsenal half on this near side, plays the ball back into the centre circle to Diego Carlos, who's been an absolute brick at the back. Nathan says they're not a great start to the second half. No, it isn't. Villa now inside the Arsenal penalty. A shot comes in, it's blocked. That was it Rodgers again? And Villa still inside the Arsenal penalty area. Can't get through that breakthrough. The shot comes in from Ollie Watkins, loops over the top, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. I mean, it's not been a great start to the second half from Arsenal. No, it's been a good start to the second half from Villa, hasn't it? Mark C says, Villa getting too much of a foothold for my liking. Yeah, they are. They've had a good start to the second half. And Arsenal, a bit like we did the other night, we've come out a little bit flat, haven't we, at the start of the second half. And Villa have been the better team so far since half-time, but it does remain 0-0. And Villa again have picked up the ball, and Arsenal, I don't know whether we've become a little bit too predictable. We said this the other night, didn't we, in the Bayern Munich game in the second half? We'd become a little bit predictable. And then we in this game. And again, Villa are playing the football nicely, actually. It's a really good style of football this from Villa. They've worked this really well again, and they're coming forward through the midfield with Rodgers, Morgan Rodgers. But in the end, Arsenal do pick the ball up. It's a long ball forward looking for Jesus, but the flag's up for offside over on that far side. It's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. And I don't think there was too much argument about that, even though Jesus wants to argue about it. And he wants to argue about most things, doesn't he? But looking at the replay there, he was clearly offside. Doesn't help that even if his body even if his legs may have been level, he was leaning forward. But I do feel as though he was offside anyway. And that's pretty much where we are with it. And it's a free kick to Aston Villa. We played 10 minutes of the second half. Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0. And is this going to be a pivotal weekend in the title race? Man City, of course, as we know, won yesterday. They are top of the table as things stand. Liverpool lost to Crystal Palace earlier on today. They have dropped down to third, and Arsenal currently a second. And if it stays 0-0, we'll be a point behind Manchester City with 6 to play. Not the position that we really wanted to be in, but obviously it could be a lot worse. Let's be honest. But anyway, if we win this game, we'll be back a point ahead of them, and they'll have to catch us. And then the onus is going to be on us to keep winning, which we have to do. Declan Rice now bringing it forward for Arsenal. Martin Odegaard turns away from one challenge, 2 challenges, plays the ball up this near side. Leandro Trossard dinks across in, but it's going to be easy for Emi Martinez there, who's played well again today. Emi Martinez, as he generally does against us. Not that he's got a point to prove or anything like that. You know, he just generally plays well against us, doesn't he? And he has again today, and that was a comfortable catch there by the Argentinian. And another Arsenal attack didn't really lack a lot of conviction there. It lacked conviction, sorry. Didn't have a lot of conviction is what I meant to say. And Aston Villa are coming forward themselves again. In fact, it's been a slightly different pattern to the second half. The first half was more Arsenal possession and Villa playing on a counter-attack. The second half has been more Villa possession and Arsenal trying to play on a counter-attack. It's almost swapped completely, hasn't it? Maybe that might suit Arsenal. We'll see. Terry says, we need AirPod to step in and make some changes. We're playing like nothing's at stake. Well, we've not playing particularly well. No, now Villa, a little bit of space over on that far side. Again, it's great defensive work from Bukayo Saka. Usually we're so used to seeing him doing all his best work in the final third, scoring and creating goals. But today, he's made 4 or 5 brilliant tackles back defensively today. Blocks a couple of crosses. His work rate on that far side, or the Arsenal right, has been incredible today. Brilliant from Bukayo Saka again. And yeah, he's had to work really hard for the team. Everyone's had to work hard for it. I say this was never ever going to be an easy game, was it? It never ever was going to be. And we've had to work really hard, and we've got a lot of work still to do. We played 57.5 minutes. Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0. Gabriel Jesus trying to go past a couple of players, falls over again. But Villa don't really get the ball away, only as far as Declan Rice. But that ball into Martin Odegaard was fizzed a little bit too heavily there. Martin Odegaard couldn't get it under control. But Arsenal picks up possession again. This is a little bit better from Arsenal now. Declan Rice again. He's going to line up across. He threads it through to Wolf Ben White. Good defending again, though, by Villa. You have to say they've defended well in this game, Aston Villa, when they've had to. And they've done well. But now they're trying to come forward again. But good defensive play there from Gabriel. And it's got a little bit scrappy now, isn't it? The possession's turning over one way and then the other. And in the end, it's a free kick given away by Kai Havertz on... is it every concert? It's going to be a free kick to Aston Villa. They're going to make a change. Leon Bailey, the danger man. For me, he's a danger man. He's coming on. Maybe Diaby's going off. And Leon Bailey is a threat, isn't he? He's a really good player. He's got pace. He's got skill. He can score goals. He can create goals. And him and Ollie Watkins have really linked up well this season together, haven't they? And that is going to be a dangerous substitution for Aston Villa, bringing on Leon Bailey. But we're not even hit the hour mark yet, so it's an early change in many ways by Unai Emery. Arsenal picked the ball up. William Sleeper won that challenge, found Kai Havertz. Now it's with Martin Ødegaard over on that far side. And then the ball's played through and it's going to run behind. Is it a corner to Arsenal? It is going to be another corner to Arsenal. So we shall see what happens. Terry says Villa have a Jesus as well. Do they? What Jesus do they have? Anyway, they've got Callum Chambers on the bench, by the way, and a player that we know quite well. There's quite a lot of old Arsenal connections in this Villa team, isn't there, with the manager and the goalkeeper as well, and Callum Chambers. Anyway, it's a corner to Arsenal with Bukayo Saka, who's going to take it towards again the edge of 6-yard box. It's a Villa heads it away only as far as Declan Rice. He hits it on the volley, and that has gone almost upper tier of the North Bank. And that's how high that shot was. In fact, it might well have gone near to the over and over and over again sign behind that goal at the North Bank of the Emirates. It is going to be the change now for Aston Villa. It is Leon Bailey coming on. It is Diaby going off. The change that I expected to happen. I mean, Diaby's had a decent enough game, hasn't he? He's caused us a few problems. But Leon Bailey is a totally different kettle of fish, isn't he? He is the real deal, and he is going to be a real danger now for Arsenal. He's going to be playing on that right-hand side. He's going to be attacking Zinchenko. So we need to be a bit worried about that, I believe. But anyway, let's see what happens. So Villa have made a change. Villa have done the first change of this game. Unai Emery has done it quite early as well. I'll say an hour played. And Leon Bailey is on for Villa. Are coming forward now. Zielotti over on that far side. And as Villa going to win a corner, they have won a corner in front of their fans at the clock end. And these are tense moments in this game, aren't they? And Villa are now going to have an opportunity to get that ball into the box. They've got some height, haven't they? They've got some big players, Aston Villa. And this could be a big moment in this game, a big moment in this title race. It's a corner to Villa, which Tielemans is going to take as the fans in that far corner there. They've actually won 3 times at the Emirates in the Premier League, Aston Villa. No, 4 times they've won at the Emirates in the Premier League. They were, of course, the first visitors here, weren't they, back in 2006. And they did score the first goal at this stadium as well in a competitive game. Left Molberg at this clock end from a corner, in fact, it was. And this is an unusual routine. The corner comes in. Oh, it's a bit of a miscommunication in the Arsenal defence. We just got away with that. We've actually given the ball away again. Tielemans with a shot. He hit the underside of the bar. Oh, incredible. That's twice now. Villa have hit the woodwork. And Arsenal have got a bit lucky, you have to say, on 2 occasions here. And we didn't deal with that corner particularly well. We should have cleared it away. We didn't. The ball's come back in again. And Tielemans' shot it was. Hit the underside of the crossbar. They've hit the inside of the post and the underside of the crossbar, Villa, in this game. And, wow, I said that could have been a big moment in this title race, and it could well be there that Arsenal have got away with one there. You have to say there's a yellow card being given now. I'm not quite sure who to. Kai Havertz, I think it might have been for not retreating quickly enough at that free kick. Wow, Terry says 35 got away with one there. Well, yeah, we got away with it there. Absolutely. Tielemans' shot it was. Hit the underside of the bar. Somehow bounced clear. That's the 9th yellow card of the season for Kai Havertz, by the way. Is one more as a ban, or is that... I think that's finished now, isn't it, that time frame? Anyway, it's a free kick to Aston Villa midway inside the Arsenal half. and Arsenal rocking at the minute. It's going to be John McGinn with this set piece for Aston Villa. Dinks in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Again, Arsenal aren't really convincing getting it away, and Villa have still got the ball on the edge of the penalty area, and it's pinball around there, and Villa are really up for this second half. You have to say they've come out all guns blazing, Aston Villa, and they're a little bit unfortunate not to be in front. And they're still coming forward now, looking for that breakthrough goal. But that ball's headed back by Ben White into the arms of David Raya. And the game's still being played at 100 miles an hour, isn't it? And it could still go either way. Jesus now plays out to that far side, but Bukayo Saka's got a little bit of space. Zanieta's gone across there to try to block the cross. Saka plays it square to Jesus with a shot. Martinez with the save. He's come back out again. Ben White chips it back in. And Aston Villa deal with that. And as a referee given a free kick, but that's a good save again from Emi Martinez down to his left-hand side. It was Jesus' shot, and Trossard was offside. And when the cross came back in, he gave it. But I just showed this here, Zinchenko's mistake. And then, did he hit the post and the crossbar? That is incredible, that. They hit the inside of the post and it came back out. And then that one there hit the crossbar. Did it hit the post as well? Anyway, it somehow stayed out, that shot from Yuri Tielemans. And Aston Villa was so close. In fact, it did hit the underside of the crossbar and then the inside of the post. Wow. So it's kind of 3 times they've hit the post with 2 efforts, Aston Villa. And it remains 0-0. But Aston Villa coming forward again over on that far side. That was good defending at full stretch there from Ben White. Arsenal, from William Sleever, sorry. And Arsenal have been rocking here as this second half is dragging on. And Villa are a better team. There's no doubt about that. John McGinn now bringing it forward for Aston Villa over on that far side. He's won another corner. And these are nervy times at the Emirates for Arsenal. Really, really nervy times. And the Aston Villa fans behind that goal, getting behind their team, you have to say this has been tactically brilliant from Unai Emery. Really has been great for Aston Villa today. They've played really, really well. And we're feeling the pressure. Those Villa fans are really getting behind their team, behind that goal. And they nearly scored from their last corner. Whew. Mark C says, Zink not strong enough in the challenge, nearly gives Tielemans. Yeah, I mean, he's just not strong enough defensively, is he? Anyway, Tielemans is going to take this corner as he did the last one. Arsenal didn't really deal with. This one comes in. That one wasn't a great corner. Jesus heads it away at the near post. It's headed back into the penalty area. And still, Villa can't clear it, and there will be a free kick now. There was an attempt there from Ollie Watkins, an overhead kick, and he's caught Martin Odegaard in the face there. I don't think there was any. Was it Ollie Watkins? It might have been Rodgers actually. It was an attempt at an overhead kick inside the penalty area. There was no intent there. I think he was genuinely trying to get a contact on the ball. Martin Odegaard's got to head it away and got kicked straight in the face, and he's now going to require some treatment. You can't damage his good looks, though, can you? You're not able to do that. Surely that's got to be more of a foul if it's in Martin's face, isn't it? Come on. It was. He was trying an overhead kick. He didn't even hit him in the face. He hit him on the shoulder, actually. Oh, it wasn't as bad as it looked. I mean, it's a free kick, obviously, but it wasn't in the face after all. I say you can't kick Martin Odegaard in the face, can you? It was a genuine attempt to try and get the ball. Anyway, Arsenal making 2 changes now. 66 minutes. Gabriel Martinelli and Takahiro Tomiyasu. You'd imagine Zinchenko's going to go off for Tomiyasu. That mistake there is probably one too many for Mikel Arteta in this game. And obviously, Leon Bailey's going to be a threat down this side of the pitch. That's probably going to be the first change. In fact, it isn't. Ben White's going off for Tomiyasu. That's a bit of a surprise, isn't it? I kind of thought Tomiyasu was going to drop in at left back. But no, Ben White is going off. And Trossard's going off as well for Martinelli. So they're the 2 substitutions. Are they going to be match-winning changes? He made a match-saving change the other night, didn't he? When Trossard and Jesus combined for the equaliser against Bayern Munich. Is the Martinelli Tomiyasu substitution going to lead to Arsenal winning this game? Martin Odegaard's going to be okay. Not surprising. He was only kicked on the shoulder. And it is going to be a free kick to Arsenal inside the penalty area. Terry says he's took LT off. He has indeed. He was playing pretty well, wasn't he? Although, to be fair, the second half, he's had little impact. But then none of our attacking players have had any impact yet in the second half, have they? Because it's been all Aston Villa for the most part. We've played 67 minutes and we were halfway through this second half. Still, we await the first goal it is Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0, and Aston Villa have come closest in the second half. They've come closest in the game twice. They've hit the woodwork twice, and somehow Arsenal have survived. And that free kick's run all the way through into the Aston Villa penalty area, and then they hoof it clear up this near side. But now Villa looking to come forward again. They have played some good football in this game, Aston Villa, you have to say. And Arsenal have struggled to really create too much. Certainly in the second half, we've created next to nothing, really. It's been really poor. But we are in possession now as Zinchenko plays the ball over the top, looking for Martinelli, who's just come on, looking for this early impact. And Liesman's flag's gone up. He was offside. He looked offside. And it's going to be a free kick to Aston Villa. And more time is ticking away. Don't forget, we're bringing you the Arsenal women's game as well, straight after this one on the different stream. So you should see it there. It'll be on the channel, the new stream for the women's game. I've decided to do them on 2 different streams just because there does seem to be a different audience as well that watch the women's games. I didn't want them not to find it, so I've done a separate stream. Anyway, that's all coming up for you later on. And actually, the team will be out, won't it? The Arsenal women's team, I think. Let me just check if it is. I think it should be, shouldn't it? Let me have a look. I think it might well be. So have a look and see, shall we? Oh no, it's not yet. And of course it won't be. It's the team is out, yeah. So I've got the Arsenal women's team here. 1, 2 changes, 3 changes from the cup final, which we'll come on to a bit later when we get over to that stream. So the Arsenal women's team's out. I won't tell you what it is yet. We'll wait for the excitement for that, won't we? A bit later. The Aston Villa, the Bristol City team's out as well. So yeah, anyway, it's a goal kick to Aston Villa at this moment in time. We've got just over 20 minutes to play. Just over 20 minutes to play in this game here at the Emirates. It's very tense. It's very tight. It could go either way, and it's 0-0. And Aston Villa have maybe been unfortunate not to be in front, you have to say, in this second half. And they are coming forward again. In fact, they're not, because it's going to be a free kick. They try to take quickly, but too quickly for the referee's liking. And it's been called back for a... Well, they're going to retake it. They're going to retake it. And it's just about on halfway, this free kick for Aston Villa. And they've taken it now. And they're trying to get the ball forward. Trying to put this Arsenal defence on a little bit more pressure again, because we've been rocking and creaking a little bit, haven't we, in this second half? You have to say it's been far from convincing from Arsenal. But it's still 0-0, and you know we're capable of getting a goal. But so are Aston Villa, and they've come close on a couple of occasions already today. And they'll be looking to try to get a goal in the time that remains in this game, which is 19 minutes. 19 minutes for someone to win this game, hopefully Arsenal. But at this moment in time, you have to say we're not looking likely to score. We haven't looked like to score in the second half, and Aston Villa have been the better team. Is this the tension of the occasion? Is it just the fact that Villa are playing well? Is that what we've just got to accept? Because they are playing well, Villa. There's no doubt about that. So let's see what the second half brings us. It's a free kick again to Aston Villa. Again, there's more frustration in the crowd. It was Martinelli there who committed the foul. And it's a free kick to Aston Villa. And the ball's run through to David Raya, throws it out to that far side to Tomiyasu. the substitute, recently just come on, hasn't he? Is he going to be a player to help unlock this Aston Villa defence, who have been so strong? Tomiyasu is in possession, finds Saka over on that far side. That link up there is going to be crucial, isn't it? And again, now Arsenal run into trouble. Martin Odegaard's lost the ball. He had a really good start to this game, Martin Odegaard, but he seems to have run out of legs. And in fact, the whole team seems to run out of legs in this second half. Has the Bayern Munich game taken a lot out of us? I don't know. Anyway, Zanoli there has won another corner for Aston Villa as he in front of those Villa fans. Terry says, everyone push the thumbs up button. If not, for this game, press it for Salty Emma losing again. Yeah, Emma Hayes has lost again out of another cup. There was talk that Chelsea women were going to win the quadruple and she's going to end up maybe with nothing this season, which would be quite funny, wouldn't it? Anyway, Villa have got a corner. And if Arsenal aren't careful, we're going to end up with nothing this season as well. Because if Aston Villa were to score inside these last, 17 minutes, you'd have to say it would be a massive ask for Arsenal to win this game. It's Tielemans again with this corner. The first one was good. The second one, not so good. What's this one going to be like? Again, it's not too good, but it's going to produce another corner, is it? Yep, Declan Rice has headed that behind. Didn't get a great header on it, did he? But it is going to be another corner anyway to Aston Villa. We're coming up to the last 15 minutes. And the tension is, you could cut the air with a knife, couldn't you? The tension is so high here. A lot at stake for both of these clubs for slightly different reasons. Villa chasing the top four, of course, and they would love a win here, which would put them in a great position, wouldn't it? Inside that top four. They are fourth, although only on goal difference. They're in that battle with Tottenham for that fourth place. We know we'd rather get there, wouldn't we? But maybe not from today's result. Anyway, corner comes in, and Arsenal don't really clear it away. And it's gone across the goal, but it's gone behind. Is it another corner? Villa are claiming a handball. A couple of Villa players claiming a handball, but I don't think it's going to be given. I think it's going to be a goal kick in actual fact. God, Tomiyasu, it was there on the ground. Not quite sure he got a handball on it actually. And then it's come off Kai Havertz. It should have been a corner actually. I need another corner. I was going to say it should have been a corner because it came off Kai Havertz. Tomiyasu went to ground. It didn't hit him on the arm. It wasn't a penalty. But it is another corner to Aston Villa. And we are now into the last 15 minutes here at the Emirates. There's a lot of tension. Can Arsenal get the goal? Will Villa get a goal here? Again, the corner comes into the near post. Again, not really a great corner. Cleared away. It does come back out to Tielemans. His cross this time is deflected. Zinchenko heads it away to Bukayo Saka. Now Arsenal can maybe launch a counter-attack. Martinelli was screaming for the ball through the middle. He didn't get it. Declan Rice has got it instead on this near side. And he's going to switch the play long over to that far side, but it's not great ball. And Arsenal really have lacked ideas in this second half, you have to say. And if anyone looks like scoring, it's Aston Villa and not us. We just haven't threatened at all in the second half. That one effort from Jesus that produced a save from Emi Martinez, and that's pretty much it. Really, really poor second half it's been from Arsenal. But it only takes one moment of magic, doesn't it? Or one little bit of fortune, maybe, and we can get a goal. And that would make all the difference, not only to today's game, but to the rest of the season. You do feel this is a crucial moment. Anyway, it's Villa coming forward again. Ollie Watkins with a great run in behind. He's got the ball over on that far side. Villa have played well in this second half. You have to say they've been really, really impressive, Aston Villa. They've played really, really well in this second half. And they are looking at the much more likely team to get all 3 points as things stand. We're into the last 13 minutes here at the Emirates. Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0. And Leon Bailey in possession has not really got into the game as yet, as he really has not had much impact as yet. But it's still early days, of course, for him on the pitch. He's got the ball now, though, Leon Bailey. This is where he could be dangerous. He's going to have a run. He's fouled there, is he? No, the referee says no. Looked like a foul there by Gabriel Martinelli, but the referee's allowed play to go on. Martinelli's got the ball now. And then he's actually fouled. It's going to be a free kick to, or a throw maybe to Arsenal, is it? Anyway, the referee has stopped the game because there's an injury to an Aston Villa player on that far side. And Arsenal making 2 more substitutions. Emil Smith-Rowe is coming on. And also as well, it looks like Jorginho. And it's Zignotti gone down again. He's gone down a couple of times, hasn't he? Anyway, it is going to be Emil Smith-Rowe. So Mikel Arteta is suddenly giving some trust in Emil Smith-Rowe, and a crucial part of the game. Terry says Emil Smith-Rowe coming on. He is indeed. And Jorginho as well. All Martin Odegaard's going off. He hasn't had much impact in the second half at all. You have to say he's given the armband to Jesus. Surely should be giving it to Declan Rice. Anyway, Martin Odegaard's going off and Jorginho's coming on. Not his best second half, Martin Odegaard. I don't know what his fitness levels were like. He looked tired. And Gabriel Jesus has gone off. And in fact, Gabriel Jesus was given the armband and now he's gone off. So he's actually given it to Jorginho. Just come on, which is interesting. Why not give it to Declan Rice permanently? Anyway, Emil Smith-Rowe's on. So that's the big news, isn't it? Emil Smith-Rowe has come on for Arsenal for these last, 12 minutes of normal time. There's going to be a little bit of stoppage time because there's this injury here to Zagnoli who's gone down and he's back on his feet again. He's gone down. He's the only player who's needed treatment in this game, actually, isn't he? The Italian. And I'm sure Aston Villa will be quite happy for the clock to tick along. And I'm sure they'll take a point, Aston Villa, won't they? It will give them that little bit of breathing space over Tottenham in that top four. They've got their own big battle to win. And, of course, they are still in Europe as well. In fact, they've made the substitution now, Aston Villa. I think Zagnotti's game is done. And he's going to be replaced by Tim Gluman. No, it's not. It's Alex Moreno, thankfully. Oh, thank God for that. It's Alex Moreno's come on. I thought it was going to be a name I was going to really struggle to pronounce, but it's not, luckily. It's Alex Moreno, and that's quite easy to pronounce, even though he's Spanish. Anyway, it's a throw to Arsenal, which Zinchenko is going to take. In fact, he has taken, but Evre Konsa plays the ball back to Emi Martinez. Terry says, Arteta's get out clause, he can blame Swiss roll if we lose. Well, if we don't win, I suppose. Anyway, it's a throw to Arsenal over on that far side. We're coming up to the last 10 minutes here at the Emirates Stadium. Aston Villa have been the better team for much of this second half. They've come the closest to taking the lead. And those crucial moments where the ball's hit that woodwork, are they going to prove to be lucky moments for Arsenal in this title race? Because if we do go on and win this game, you have to say it'll be slightly fortunate on the balance of play in the second half. But we are still coming forward. We are looking a little bit leggy, a little bit out of ideas, actually. And I think that's maybe why Smith-Rowe and Jorginho have come on, just to add a little bit of balance, more balance to that attack. Anyway, else coming forward again now with Saka over on that far side. Jorginho in possession, touches it back to Saka, whips a cross in. Kai Havertz is underneath it, heads it back. Smith-Rowe was coming in, but Villa managed to clear it away. Are we going to see some late drama here? Or a mistake at the back from Zinchenko, and Leon Bailey has got clear here. And he's done well, Leon Bailey, twisting and turning. Declan Rice has come across to help out Zinchenko and did well, actually, to hold him up. And in the end, Zinchenko got away with that, actually. He's got away with a couple of mistakes in this game. And I'm surprised he's still on the pitch. 81 minutes on the clock. And again, Aston Villa are in possession. And you have to say they have been the much, much better team in this second half by quite some distance. But they haven't managed to score, thankfully, because you do feel as though a goal now for either team is going to win this game. Well, certainly a goal for Aston Villa means we probably don't win this game. We may be able to salvage a draw, but we certainly won't win if Aston Villa score now. I can't see us scoring 2 in the closing stages here. And, of course, if Arsenal were to score, that might be enough. But Villa have certainly asked enough questions to suggest that even if we did score, they wouldn't be out of the game with stoppage time, 10 minutes or so to play. Anyway, Bailey now's got clear on his near side. No, every concert, sorry. Really good play that was with Bailey. What's the cross going to be like? It's not a great cross, actually. Maybe the wrong player for Aston Villa would be looking at there. They would have wanted it to be Leon Bailey. But really good play there from those two on this near side. Zinchenko again, leaving some gaps defensively. Terry says 35 got mugged off there. He's been mugged off about 4 times in the second half already, and still Arteta kept him on and took Ben White off to bring Tomiyasu on. Incredible. Anyway, let's see what happens here. And McGinn's done well again for Aston Villa. He's had a good game, hasn't he? John McGinn skipped away there from Kai Havertz. And now Kai Havertz is now playing as the centre forward with Jesus going off. But Aston Villa are pressing here. We're into the last 6 and 7.5 minutes of normal time at the Emirates. Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0. Is Arsenal's title chances slipping away here today? Aston Villa have on that far side. Cross comes in, it's deflected behind. It's going to be another corner. It's Bukayo Saka again doing some great defensive work. He's probably been our best player today, Bukayo Saka, but not in the way you might expect. More for his defensive work. He's been brilliant. And he's just done some more good defensive work then to stop another cross. And it is a corner, though, to Aston Villa. And they are piling on the pressure here. It's going to be Youri Tielemans again. His last 3 or 4 corners have been pretty poor, actually. Is this one going to be better? Is this one going to cause us the problems? I say if Villa score now, you do feel that'll be all over. Anyway, this corner goes short. He's played to the edge of the box, a slightly different routine for Villa. Wasn't a great ball. Tomiyasu heads it away. But we still haven't got it clear. And Villa still in possession now with John McGinn midway inside the Arsenal half. Plays out to that far side. Villa coming forward again with Luca Digne across into the near post. He's gone all the way across. Oh, and Villa have scored. And that's it. It's all over for Arsenal. It's Leon Bailey. And I said he was a danger man. And he scored the goal. It was from a short corner routine. Arsenal just didn't deal with it. And with 6 minutes to play, Aston Villa have scored. And it is advantage to Manchester City. Nathan says that was coming. It absolutely was coming. It's been coming all of the second half. Arsenal have been really, really leggy, poor, lacking ideas. And we've been punished by a set piece there. And Villa fans behind that goal are celebrating not only a goal that's going to be crucial for our title chances, but it's going to give them a real advantage in that race for the top 4. There's some really frustrated faces there amongst some of the Arsenal players, Saliba, Kai Havertz. We can't really have too many complaints there. It was just poor defensively, wasn't it? Really, really poor. And the cross came in and nobody was there. No Arsenal player reacted. And was that Declan Rice actually caught out there at the far post? He was on his heels and Bailey's had a simple tap in there. And that is just poor from Arsenal. That is really, really poor. It was Declan Rice was caught out there and David Raya couldn't get back across. It was a good cross actually from Luca Digne. And Aston Villa have scored. And surely that is it for Arsenal. Terry says, if we don't win this game, is it okay to write in capitals Arteta out? You can write whatever you want, my friend. Absolutely whatever you want. It's been poor in the second half. It has been really, really poor. And it's almost like a carry-on from the Bayern Munich game, isn't it? I thought we were pretty poor in that game, apart from the first 20 minutes. And we've been, again, today, after the first 20 minutes, we've been pretty poor. And is it the pressure? Villa have played well. We have to give Villa a lot of credit, actually. Villa have played really well. We're into the last 4.5 minutes of normal time. Arsenal have a corner. A draw is obviously not really enough, although we'll take a draw right now, won't we, with the way this game's gone. Corner to the near post, but they don't really clear it away. But they should do now. It's Youri Tielemans just hoofs it anywhere up this near side. If that Zinchenko gets there, now it's with Jorginho, but he just gives the ball away. And now Aston Villa looking to come forward again. Surely that's an offside against Ollie Watkins. I think the flag stayed down. Ollie Watkins has run through. Ollie Watkins has scored, but I think the flag's up. Or is it up? Not really sure. This might be disallowed for offside, but it is 2-0. Aston Villa have scored again. It's Ollie Watkins, and that was always going to be the danger. Arsenal looking across to the linesman, looking across to VAR, but I don't think the goal's going to be disallowed. I think that's it. I think it is 2-0. Ollie Watkins has took that really, really well, and Arsenal have fallen apart in the closing stages here. It is Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 2, and surely that is the league gone now. You can't see Manchester City throwing this away with 6 games to play. With a 2-point advantage, and Arsenal have really self-destructed. Well, Ollie Watkins, who may well be back at the Emirates next season in an Arsenal shirt, who knows? Jorginho, it was, gave that ball away, and suddenly Arsenal were in problems in his own half. He's not offside because he's in his own half. So there you go. Really poor defending. I'm not sure who that was. That Zinchenko? It was actually Emil Smith-Rowe. Couldn't get back and couldn't stop it, and that's a good finish, actually. In fact, it gets a slight deflection off Emil Smith-Rowe. And it drops into the net. And Terry says in capitals that he wanted to say in capitals, it is Arteta out, he says. It's hard to disagree. Terry says, Ollie started his own half. He did. Nathan says, now you take Zin off. Yeah. Has he took him off, has he? Yeah, you took him off half hour too late, but I told you to take him off when you brought Tomiyasu on. You know, there's Arsenal fans there shaking their heads, right, in the crowd. Let's be honest, right? Is anyone surprised? Because I'm not. Anyway, it is 2-0 and there's only a couple of minutes to go. This game is now done and dusted, and the title may well be as well. Oh, he's brought Eddie Nketiah on for Zinchenko. Now it's 2-0. Oh, my days. What an absolute idiot. The guy's an idiot. Honestly, the guy is an idiot. He is an absolute idiot. I'm not having it at all. And, yeah, that sums it up for me. I'm sorry. It sums it up. This second half has been really poor. We've got what we've deserved in this game. Villa have thoroughly deserved this game. Once again, Unai Emery has shown Arteta what tactics are about, how to set your team up to win a game, a big game. He's shown him how to do it. Once again, did he not knock him out of the Europa League a few years ago? What's Arteta learned from that? Very, very little, if anything at all. Nothing, in fact, I would say. And this is the result of it. You know, we've you know, people will say we've had a good season with this, that, and the other. We've challenged again. But ultimately, again, when it matters, we don't have the mentality to get these things over the line. We're probably going to get knocked out of Europe on Wednesday. Looks like the title, you know, are Man City going to throw this league away with a 2-point advantage with 6 games to play? No, of course they're not. The history shows us that they're not. There you go. Terry says, Nathan, how did he say things like that? Well, Nathan said exactly what we all feel, my friend. Nathan says he's done a number. Yes, he's done it before as well. He's done it before as well, hasn't he? He's out-tacticked Mikel Arteta. It's not difficult to out-tactic Mikel Arteta, is it? It's not difficult to do that. And he's done it before. He's done it again. And for only the 3rd time in Premier League history, Aston Villa have done a double over us. Mark C says, poor finishing from us, and we only tendency has done us in. How many chances did we really have, though? Realistically, how many real chances did we have? I can only think of that one, really, the Trossard one, obviously, and that came just after Villa hit the post. Villa could have scored 4 goals in this game quite easily. And could we have scored 4? I don't think we could. We've maybe had 2 big chances. I would say that's it. The Jesus header and obviously the Trossard one. And who else are coming forward? There's absolutely no shape at all. We've just got bodies all over the place. We've just lost all discipline, all shape, and it's more likely that Villa might well get a 3rd goal rather than us scoring. There's going to be 8 minutes of stoppage time, by the way. Not that it's going to make any difference because we're not scoring 1 goal, let alone 3, in these final few minutes here. We've just lost all our shape now. We've got no defenders, but it's almost like, I don't know what that shape is. Is it 3? I don't know, 3-2-4, 3-2-5. I'm not really sure what it is. It's just no shape at all. The Emirates is half empty, by the way. And, you know, don't listen to people on social media that say, the fans in the ground, they're totally behind this team. They're totally behind this manager. No, they're not. No, they're not. Why is the ground empty? If they were totally behind the team, you know, we're 2 points off the top with 6 games to play. They should be in there cheering this team. They should be in there clapping them off the pitch. Yes, it's a disappointing game, but if the fans are really behind it all, that's what they'd be doing, and they're not. And it's not the first time, is it? Even when we're winning games, they bugger off with 10 minutes to play. You know what I mean? It's a Sunday afternoon. It's not like it's a late kickoff, is it? It's like it's not even 6:30 on a Sunday. It's still daylight. What on earth are you going home for? They call themselves proper fans. Oh, yeah, I'll go to games every week. I'm a proper fan. Well, you're not if you bugger off with 10 minutes to play because you're losing, are you? You're an absolute clown. Then you'll be giving it the bigger way. Oh, I'm a proper fan. How can you want Arteta out? Oh, I'm a proper fan. All the fans in the stadium are behind him. No, they're not. If they're behind him, they'll be there now cheering the team on. There's still 8 minutes to play. Why aren't they there? Where have they gone? Why aren't they supporting the team that they say they support? No, they're not. They're a bunch of idiots, man, honestly. So just don't listen to them. If they come out of all that crap on social media, they don't support this team. Emil Smith-Rowe now trying to get a goal back. And Arsenal just literally have got no shape or structure to our attack. We're just trying to keep the ball and try and keep it up this end of the pitch and hope something falls for us. Tomiyasu's cross. Eddie Nketiah is going to get a chance. No, he's not. Declan Rice is going to get a chance. No, he's not. Aston Villa clear it away. In fact, it's going to be a free kick. Nathan says Pep will be laughing all the way to the bank. Well, he'd be. What a day it's been for Man City, by the way. We've not even played. What a day it's been for them. Terry says Arteta is the best imitation Spaniard in the Premier League. Well, I don't know what he's an imitation of. he's shown himself up year after year, hasn't he? It's the same. It's the same every year, isn't it? It is the same every year, and this was for me. This was always the danger. The danger was always going to be when the real pressure was on. How would we cope? Against Bayern, we were poor. Today, we've been poor, and I wouldn't be surprised if on Wednesday night our season is over. Our season will be over, and again, there's only one person who's responsible. There's only one person who's responsible. You know, why is the Emirates empty? Why is the Emirates half empty when we're supposed to be in a title race? You know, you've got Unai Emery, you've got Emi Martinez are laughing at us. Who's created this situation? Even the clock end's half empty. Honestly, glory hunters, man. That's what they are. Glory hunters. And Nathan says that you got something stuck in your throat, Mikel, because you're choking. Every year, mate. Every year it's the same, isn't it? 4 years in a row. When the pressure's on, we crumble. And it doesn't matter how well you play for 30 games or 31 games. It's how you play for 38 games that counts. If we're coming forward again, it is going to be 3-0. Oh, it's a good save, actually, from David Raya. Almost was 3-0. Was that Watkins again? He would have gone level on the golden boot there if he'd stuck that in. But he's denied there by David Raya. And, there may have been an offside, actually, against Bailey. He might not have counted anyway. But it was a good save, actually. He was a bit unlucky there, Watkins. He did really well. Is it audition for his new job, Ollie Watkins? Is the new striker at a team that desperately needs a new striker, I wonder. Anyway, Declan Rice is going to fire a shot in from distance. It's gone high over the bar. And that pretty much sums it up for me today. We've played 4 minutes of the 8 of stoppage time. It's been desperately, desperately poor this second half, you have to say. There looks to be some stunned faces in the Emirates. I'm not quite sure what they're stunned about, because I'm not. I was more stunned when we beat Brighton 3-0 last week. That was more of a shock than this game. This has been coming for me. It was just a matter of when it was going to happen. And yeah, it has to be Aston Villa. It has to be Unai Emery. It has to be Emi Martinez, doesn't it? Has to be. Anyway, it's a goal kick to Aston Villa, which Emi Martinez is going to take. We've got 3 minutes of stoppage time to play. Unai Emery's down on his knee. Not quite sure why, but he's been an absolute masterclass from him today. And yeah, I don't think anybody can be. You've got to be anything but truthful here. Aston Villa have deserved to win this game. They've absolutely deserved to win this game. They've been brilliant. You know, yes, we had some good spells in that first half. Of course, we're at home. You'd expect us to be. We were looking to go top of the league. And we had some decent spells, but Aston Villa have been brilliant today. From start to finish, they've been brilliant. Everything that they've done, they've had a game plan. You can see it clearly. They've carried it out. Every single one of their players has been brilliant. They've made very, very few mistakes. And they fully deserve this victory. There's absolutely no question about it. And yeah, Unai Emery again. Unai Emery again. Is anyone surprised by this? I'm not. Mark C says, we've not been anywhere near good enough today. No, we haven't. We've been nowhere near good enough. Absolutely not. We wasn't good enough on Tuesday night. We've not been good enough today. And everyone was saying, we've had all this extra rest. Villa played Thursday night. We played Tuesday. We was at home. They was at home as well, actually, to be fair. But all this, we've had extra rest and all this, it's just bullshit, isn't it? We're just not good enough. We haven't got the bottle. We haven't got the mentality. The players haven't got the bottle. The manager hasn't got the bottle. That's the fact of it. That is the fact of it. You watch, we're going to score a goal now. We are going to score a goal now. Eddie Nketiah. Oh, it's not. It's Eddie Nketiah. Of course, we're not going to score a goal. And he's offside anyway. In fact, he's committed a foul. What is this? What is this guy still doing at our club? Eddie Nketiah, honestly. What is he still doing at this club? Mark C says, Villa defence in particular, the right back and left back areas has nullified our wingers all day. You know why? It's called a manager with a game plan. That's what it's called. Somebody who knows what they're doing. Where's our strength? Where do our goals come from? Our goals come from the wide areas. So what have you got to do against Arsenal? You've got to defend your wide areas well. And what have Villa done? They've defended, as you said. That's what they've done. It's a manager who knows his job, knows what to do, and they fully deserved it. There is a look on the bright side. Only 3 days to go before we go out of the Champions League. Looks like we're going to win as much as Salty. Well, I think Salty are still not winning more than us, because they'll probably win the league, won't they? Still, Chelsea will. Chelsea women. Anyway, we're into the last minute of this game, thank God, because I've pretty much had enough. And the good news is I'm going on Talk TV at 7 o'clock to talk about it. So that's going to be fun, isn't it? So I'll be doing a women's game, and I'll be just briefly leaving the women's game to do that. But the stream will stay on. But I won't be there because I'll be over there. But anyway, there you go. Anyway, Arsenal now coming forward. We may well get a goal. It'll be the most pointless goal in the history of football if we scored now, wouldn't it? With 10 seconds to play when we're 2-0 down. It would just be typical that we do score. And there's going to be no Arsenal fans in the ground to see it because all these loyal fans went home ages ago. Because that's how much they support this team. And that's how much they support this manager. They're a joke. They are a joke. Most of our fans are a joke, to be honest. Let's be honest. Anyway, Villa coming forward again. Are they going to get a third goal? Leon Bailey, he's made the difference, hasn't he? It was his goal. In fact, he's not going to bother. He's going to go to the corner flag and he's going to walk there. And Arsenal aren't going to even bother to try and do anything about it. And why would we? We're 2-0 down. We've played 8 minutes of stoppage time. It's just whatever time the referee is going to give over the top, which is probably not going to be an awful lot. And you have to say you can't really blame him. And this game is about to finish in a very disappointing Arsenal defeat. And our title is in tatters. Terry says, our plan A was in the first half and plan B was to bottle it like last season in the second half. Well, yeah, it seems to have been the case. Just really, really poor. And there goes a full-time whistle. It has finished in an Unai Emery masterclass at the Emirates. It is Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 2, and Mikel Arteta and Unai Emery in a fairly warm embrace in the circumstances, you have to say. And it's Leon Bailey, the substitute for Aston Villa, made the difference. It was his goal that gave Aston Villa the lead inside the last 5 minutes. Ollie Watkins then wraps it up soon afterwards. And Arsenal got all we deserved today. We were poor. It's going to be interesting to hear Mikel Arteta's excuses afterwards. I don't know what excuses he's going to find. We were extremely poor in that second half. Was it tiredness from the Champions League? We had 2 extra days recovery. Can't really blame that, can we? In the end, it was just really, really, really poor. And Mikel Arteta's applauding the fans. I'm not quite sure who he's applauding. He's applauding those of empty seats. That's what he's doing. But yeah, Aston Villa deserved this game today. And there's no doubt about that. They are now 3 points clear of Tottenham in 4th place, which is a kind of a double-edged sword for us, isn't it? It's a good thing for us in a way, but obviously not for us in terms of the game today at all. Nathan says, thanks for the comments. No, thank you very much, my friend, for watching. Come and join us on the other stream if you want to watch the women's game with us very shortly. Terry said, well done, Unai Emery outsmarted the fraud. He did. Emi Martinez and Gabby Martinelli in conversation on the pitch. A lot of old friends. I don't know how friendly they all are, but they seem quite friendly. And Aston Villa have enjoyed this win. And why not? They've deserved it. Ollie Watkins could have got a couple of goals today. He had to settle for that one right at the end. That's gave us this defeat. And next season, he may well be back here, mightn't he, Ollie Watkins? And it certainly hasn't done himself any harm, has he, with that performance today, as indeed none of the Aston Villa players have, as they look to get into the top 4. And yeah, you have to say they look good for it. They look a good side, well organised. They've got pace. They played well today. And they are rightly celebrating in front of those Aston Villa fans. Came down from the Midlands today for this game, and they'll be going back up the M1 and the M6 are very happy, and they fully deserved it as well. So there you go. It's finished here today at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 2. Arsenal remain 2 points behind Manchester City, and Aston Villa are back in the top 4. They've got a 3-point lead over Tottenham. There's only 6 games to play. We've got to somehow find 2 points on Man City. You look at Man City's fixtures. You look at our fixtures. I'm sorry. But we're not winning the league again. We're not. Emi Martinez is enjoying himself. Of course he is. Megan 2000 says, bottle jobs. Absolutely. But we're not surprised because we've bottled everything in the last 4 years. We've bottled everything. It's what we do. It's what we do best. We should almost enjoy it because that's what we do. It's what everybody wants us to do because we're not good enough to win anything with this manager. Obvious. It's clear. It's clear and obvious. And there you go. Anyway, it has finished 2-0. And I'm going to go and prepare now for the women's game. It's on the other stream. So if you get after it, go a look on the channel, you'll see the Arsenal women's stream will be coming up very, very shortly. So I'm going to go over there, get that ready, get that on the go. And hopefully that'll be a little bit better than this. I'm sure it will. We're playing the team at the bottom of the league, Bristol City. We should win that, shouldn't we? Terry says, why would Ollie come here to play under a full debtor? Well, I don't know, but he's going to be wanted, isn't he? I'm sure we'll put a bid in for him. I'm sure a few clubs will put a bid in for him. 26 goals this season, 19 in the Premier League. Brilliant from Ollie Watkins. If only we'd got a player like that in our team who could score that many goals as a centre forward. Anyway, enough of that. It has finished the Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 2. Our league title has gone pretty much. Whatever people might say, it has gone. And yeah, that's that for another season. We never know. Maybe with the Champions League, maybe we'll recover on Wednesday and beat Bayern Munich. We'll see. We've got Scratch and Stip says there's not a chance Watkins joins you. Like, well, you never know. He might do. Money talks, my friend. Money talks. And let's face it, if Aston Villa in the Champions League, what advantage has he got playing for us? Probably not a lot. I agree. Mark C says, can't win a title with Jesus and Eddie. Absolutely not. No. We knew we needed a centre forward from the start of the season. We knew we needed one. Kai Havertz isn't a centre forward. He's played quite well there, but he's not a centre forward, is he? And those two, you're right. We're never going to win anything with them. Anyway, I've had enough of this rubbish. So come and join me on the other stream for the Arsenal women's game, because that's going to be a lot more fun. Arsenal have lost, and we are pretty much done for in terms of the title now. I don't think there's much doubt about that. Scratch says, if Villa get Champions League, we have an abundance of cash available. Are you a Villa fan? No, I mean, yeah, I kind of agree with you. I'd say I think if Villa are in the Champions League, I don't think Ollie Watkins will come to Arsenal, because it's not really a step up, is it? But it's not just about the money, though, is it? I mean, you know, the structure's there already for Villa. You can see very good team with some great players and a manager who knows what he's doing. That we should have given him the time we've given Arteta, and if only we'd done that. Who knows? Who knows where we might be? I don't think we'll be suffering these kind of frustrations every year, would we? Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Give us a like before you go. If you are new, please subscribe. If you like women's football, come and join us now on the other stream for the women's game, which is about to get underway. So join me for that. Thanks for watching, guys. Come on, you guys. I'll see you over on the other side.